This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Making pancakes. Making pancakes.
But you know, Paul Friday.
Making pancakes. Making pancakes.
Welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and this is the real episode 170 of GG's The Mouthful Podcast.
GG!
Yes. Those voices, of course. First, Mr. Dream Twister, aka David Santos,
Reporting from the moon.
and
Wow.
and reporting from the sun, Mr. Chaos Reaper, aka Hilberto.
The one and only. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Here again.
What
Where
is
do I
up?
get the sun? I'm allergic to the sun. Can I just take the dark side of the moon?
All right, there you go.
Okay, the dark side of the moon it is.
You are welcome. I share my realm.
Yes, we can be neighbors. Awesome.
There you go.
Love it.
I represent the brass side of the moon.
Yes, you keep it.
You realize that the light moves on the moon. So
Yeah.
you guys are going to be shifting all the time. It's like, oh, you're in my
Mad
territory
dog,
now.
that's not how the moon works, okay? The Earth is flat, and the moon is not. That's not how that works, okay?
Oh,
All right?
that's
we,
right.
we live in
You're
a dome,
absolutely right.
all right? And
You're
the South Pole is a giant ice wall, kind of like Game of Thrones style.
I knew
Some
it.
shit like that. Yeah. True story.
I
knew
should have known. I should have known. You're absolutely right.
Okay, I'm here to enlighten you guys. I got you.
Well, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. If this is your first time listening, please go to goodgame.tech and join the conversation there. And, of course, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. What we normally do, guys, is first we jump into what we've been up to, move on to some various news items, and then finish with our hot topic of the week. This
Hot
week's
topic,
hot
hot
topic, it's The Matrix Revisited, baby.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
There is no spoon, sir.
There is no spoon.
That's
Okay.
a beautiful line.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that is Mama Reaper's favorite line of that movie.
Yeah.
There is no
There's no
spoon.
spoon? Nice. Mine's is, whoa.
Mine is I know Kung Fu.
Yeah, that's another great one too. I'm like, there's so many good.
You know what?
Ones in there.
Honestly, the line that I probably said the most, because I have a friend who also watches a lot of movies. Dark. You guys, well, at least Mad Dog has met Dark. Is stop trying to hit me and hit me.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yes. Every time we start playing against each other and one is dominating, we just come up with that shit.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a good fighting game.
Yes.
Comeback. I love it.
A good taunt. Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. What we're probably going to do when we get into that segment is kind of do a little bit of a recap, kind of go into our favorite moments, our moments that we don't like too much. And then, of course, I have some trivia and some interesting tidbits about the film that some people may not know about, which I'm excited to get into.
Okay, I just want to clarify that the reason this hot topic is happening is because it is almost, or is it the 20-year anniversary?
It
I
is
know this
20 years
because Mad Dog
anniversary.
told me, and then I
Yep.
found out because I saw the movie was made in 1999 or released in 1999 when I saw it. So
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
It came out March of 1999. And fun fact about, well, you know what? I'll get to the fun fact about how I watched it in the
There
hot
we go.
topic.
There you go.
All right, let's start the show, guys, with what we have been up to. Well, let's start with Mr. Dream Twister. Sir, what have
All
you
right.
been doing?
All right. So, as far as gaming, I was actually I took a break from Judgment, and for some reason I just had this inkling on playing Super Smash Brothers Ultimate again. Try to see if I can finally beat that the single player, the World of Light or whatever they're calling it, and I'm not gonna lie. It's getting a little tough. And I don't mean it in this is challenging and fun. More like this is challenging and I don't remember cursing as much.
This is challenging, and where's my easy mode at?
Yeah, no,
So-
more like if I could just have an extra controller that I could just destroy. You know what? That's what I should make up. Like fake plushie controllers. Probably send them
Fake
on Amazon,
plastic controllers.
where you can just grab them and you start like hitting them, but you're not breaking anything. But
that makes
like
sense.
maybe like a beanbag or something. I don't know.
Hell, you could make a controller that can just put back together, just like the shell. Every time you throw it, it smashes. You put it back together again.
That's not a bad. I like it. I like
There
it.
you go.
We're gonna have to. We'll edit this out. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
I like it.
Me too.
We're stealing
Should
that
definitely
idea.
make this a thing.
No, but the thing is that it becomes annoying because some of this fight. I mean, you know, all of us. I think we like Super Smash Brothers, right? We're
Yeah.
on their many incarnations,
Yeah.
and it's fun fighting against against your friends, except when all of their friends just gang up against you, and then
Oh,
you're in the
yeah.
receiving end, and that's what happened on the World of Light. Is like you go through these challenges, and these challenges are okay, you versus this whole team, and some of the scenarios that they put are super unfair. Like Donkey Kong is gonna start with the huge, that huge Donkey Kong maze that you grab and it goes
Yeah.
which is basically a one-hit kill.
Yeah, you're dead after that.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I think if you're at 0, you don't die, but the second hit will definitely kill you.
Yeah. So it's annoying stuff like that. But of course I put it aside because, as you guys know, there is a game that came out very recently.
Yes.
Before you jump into that, I just wanna ask something. Do they let you choose your own character, or is it like because it's a story, it's a campaign side of the game? Does it lock you into a specific character?
No, you can actually. Well, you're unlocking characters, and then you can select from those characters that you unlock.
No, just pick the cheapest character and fuck it.
No, I mean no, because it's not like you lose them or anything like that. It's just it becomes. There's a strategy on maybe picking up the right fighter for the opponent you're about to face, but I'm not an expert.
Player. I heard King
so-
Diddy is super cheap, so
Yeah.
and Ganondorf has an
I don't have him.
unholy range.
I don't have him either yet. I haven't unlocked
Really,
him.
I love Ganondorf. My friend Zip keeps telling me that he's cheap as hell, and I'm like, I don't care. I like Ganondorf.
I haven't looked in yet. There's a few that I've looked. I've actually they allow you to play with the DLC character. So I'm maining Joker from Persona 5.
Oh,
And-
yeah, I haven't
yeah.
played those
Oh,
characters
okay.
yet.
Yeah. So it's a fun character. It's a fun character. So, but yeah, no, the game that was released on Friday that I was super stoked and excited to play. Mad Dog, you know which one it is, right?
Oh, I know.
Yes, exactly.
It rhymes with Wolfenstein.
Right.
No.
I think I
Oh,
remember
no, it's not it?
seeing.
Oh.
It's
Oh,
called
really?
Fire Emblem 3 Heroes.
Are you
for the
serious?
Nintendo Switch.
Oh, God.
I did not see that one coming at all.
Plot twist.
Plot twist indeed.
So Fire Emblem Three Houses for the Nintendo Switch. It's basically a tactical role playing game. It's made by Koei Tecmo and it's published by Nintendo. And it came out on the same day actually that Wolfenstein Youngblood came
Released
out.
for Meh reviews.
And well, no, reviews are meh. Yeah, reviews are kind of meh on it, but it's fine. It's not terrible. I still have a shrink wrap over here, and I still intend to play it. But I needed to play something very different, and I saw the reviews of this ones that were like really fucking good. So I was like, okay, let me just try it. Let me just shoot for that. and I'm having a great time. It
Really?
is,
Okay.
yeah, it is. I have actually played Fire Emblem games before, and on the Nintendo DS or 3DS. But on this one, so you basically you're this mercenary who through causes, story, plot, yada yada, you end up becoming a professor of this fighting academy. Think of it like the
Oh,
Seed
God.
Academy of Final Fantasy
Yeah, I was
VIII.
just thinking. Yeah, Seed. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, but yeah, but and then you have, it reminds me also of Harry Potter in the sense of there are different houses, there are different teams. You basically choose which team do you want to develop and teach, and basically whichever team you choose, that's where the storyline will go. It will go from their perspective, and of course you can go out and try to recruit members of the other houses and so like that. But one thing that surprised me is that it is very charming on the story and the characters. So even though it's a little bit on the heavy side on the dialogue, it does it is interesting, so far what I've gotten, and I've only heard that it gets better through the reviews that come out.
Is it a lot of reading, or there is some voice acting?
No, there's voice acting. Yeah,
Fully? Or
yeah,
just
fully. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
Is
it's
there
okay.
yeah.
Is there permadeath?
You could choose to play on classic mode. So the game has two difficulty settings at the start, and it has normal and then hard. And then so I started playing as normal, but then you choose, okay, you want to play
Classic.
I forgot the name of it, but there's also classic. And the name of it, the enhance or whatever you want to call, if one of your characters died, you just can't use them until the end of the fight. And I guess at the end, so you don't lose anybody, basically.
Oh, so there's no permadeath
okay.
option.
There's no permanent on that.
Got it.
Oh,
But
that's good.
if you play on classic, whichever character dies in battle, that's it. You don't.
So
you
there
don't
is
get
a
them anymore.
permadeath option.
Yeah,
Yeah,
classic.
there's an option for it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So you are, and the game doesn't make it very easy to cheese in it, or to save scum, especially when you go into the battles. So I started playing. I started playing it on classic mode, and I find myself being very careful, even though the first few, like, I haven't gotten a real legit battle yet. All of them have been the tutorial, the first one that, bandits are attacking, but these bandits are like super ridiculously easy. We're just gonna show you the ropes.
Yeah.
Might
Yeah.
as well be fighting rats.
Yeah, exactly. And then he has the second, the second fight was, the houses are gonna have a skirmish, to see which students are the most prominent, yada yada. And of course, nobody dies there because you are training.
Right.
But that so the first the game advances. It has a calendar, kind of like a Persona calendar, but it doesn't advance on every day. Like Magda, you know what I'm talking about the calendar in Persona. It advances in I'll say weeks basically. Yeah.
I have a slight understanding of how Persona works. I did play Persona 3, but
Oh, there you go. Then
Yeah,
Persona 3 is Persona.
Yeah.
again,
You played
I,
the best one, sir.
no,
Arguably.
See, I didn't like it.
Oh well.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
that's
didn't.
a shame.
I didn't like I love the fact that you shoot yourself in the head to get your persona. That was
Oh, yeah.
amazing. And the first time I saw it, that was very shocking. But
It was always shocking.
inspiring. Okay, but I hate the high school aspect of it.
Oh,
Oh,
then,
yes,
then
yes.
none of the
Persona's not for you,
personas are
yeah.
for you.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's why I don't play them.
Worse and worse.
Yeah.
Oh no, Persona is like one of my favorite series, and
I know.
especially because of that high school aspect of it.
Really?
Yeah. I don't, dude. I have, I have been known, and you can make fun of me for all you want. I have been known for having Crunchyroll, and instead of watching, I don't know, Attack on Titan or something like that, I'll be watching some cheesy anime about a high school student and a talking cat or something.
Oh, I was gonna say like almost every anime has high school students.
Yeah,
Yeah, they tend to have it a lot.
It's
yeah.
just whether it's military or cute little cat companions.
there you go. Then you would totally not be into the type. Into that type, but yeah, Persona is definitely not for you. And I wouldn't necessarily even say like this. I don't think this is the game for you unless you're like a really super fan of turn-based strategy guide. I mean, this is more turn-based than XCOM itself. I'm talking about you make your move when you're ready to attack. You select your attack, your character swings, it hits, and then the other person swings, so it hits you or it misses, and then it just goes back. It's like, okay, but you could have just ended the fight here. Just finish fighting.
You just keep attacking until it dies. What are you doing?
Exactly. No, they're being very polite. They're waiting there.
That's so nice of them. That's so nice of them.
So speaking of Persona, also in the aspect of the calendar that I was mentioning about, you get a day. You get, I believe, it's every Sunday off, as a regular school, right? And then you choose how you want to spend, that day with activities, with your student or resting or fighting, and depending on your choices, that will level you up on certain aspects of your skills. The professor, you get professor points also, which is supposed. It's basically another way of calling experience points. Professor experience points. But
I haven't played a game like that in a long. The last time I played a game that was similar to that was Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh yeah.
That was, dude. That game was unforgivable, dude. Those are some hardcore games, man.
Yeah.
What is it? War of the Lions or something like that? There's a Final Fantasy Tactics.
Well, there's Tactics. There's Final Fantasy Tactics and then Tactics Ogre. Those are the only ones that I'm aware of, though.
No. It says because I think it is Tactics, but they added a subtitle to it. It's like War of the Lions or something like that.
Could be.
Now I gotta look it up.
I was looking
because I played that Final Fantasy, and it was, like I said, it's Tactics.
War of the Lions. Yep, I see it.
Yeah. I played it on, was it the PSP?
Could be, because it was released to PSP, Android, and iOS, so it had to be.
Yeah. I didn't finish. I didn't get to finish it because I can't find it right now. I mean, I haven't been able to find it, but I remember liking it. I like that fighting style.
They're tough, though. Those type of games
know.
are tough.
those type of games are definitely.
That's probably why I liked it.
Yeah, and to be fair, probably one of the reasons I like the original XCOM so much is because it had the right balance of that. It was very hard. You had to think each, and I'm not a chess player. I don't know how to play chess even, and but I like that aspect of let me think so many moves ahead, in my head and see how they played out, and. Same reason why I like Valkyrie. What was the game? Valkyrie Profile? No.
Okay, yeah. Valkyrie Chronicles or
Valkyrie Chronicles. Thank you. Yeah. That one. That's another good one of those. Almost similar in the.
This one compared to this one. Valkyrie definitely looks a lot like this. Yeah.
That's funny. Valkyria. Chronicles.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't like that game. You didn't?
No,
no, and I bought it for the PlayStation 3 when it first released.
Wow.
I didn't like the characters or the story. I
played some of it, and I remember enjoying some of it as well. I think actually, I almost want to say, David, you may have lent me that. I feel like you may have lent that to me. Maybe you did. I don't know, because I remember we were talking about it. But yeah.
I remember. I remember you playing it. Maybe wasn't that the re-release that they did?
It was the re-release, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably that. It was probably that.
It did re-release for the PS4, so.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry that I didn't have anything to report on Wolfenstein. Young Blood. I'll try to play this week, and so I can report. But so far,
You know what you should do?
Fire Emblem. And if you guys are the three houses, like I mentioned, Black Eagles, Golden Deer, and Blue Lions, and I am Blue Lions all the way, sir.
You know what you should do?
What?
You should stream Wolfenstein Youngblood.
I could probably do because I
Because
had.
you
I bought
still
a
owe me
PS4.
an hour.
For some reason, I bought a PS4 rather than on PC, so I'm sure I could actually stream it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Easier setup, right? Instead of using the PC.
Yeah, because on the PC I'll have to put the OBS and all that crap, and I want to do that.
Yeah, you should stream it.
Simplicity.
Stream it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
that's, let me see. I've watched a couple movies actually.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So, the first one was First Man with Ryan Gosling.
Yes. I
saw-
knew that's the one I thought you saw. Okay,
yeah,
good.
Yeah. It's based on a book, actually on the book First Man, the life of Neil A. Armstrong, by James R. Hansen, and the movie is basically that. It is kind of like a biography of
Neil Armstrong?
Neil Armstrong, the man, a man that went to the moon.
Right.
Allegedly.
And the myth legend.
Allegedly.
Please, we're not wearing tinfoil hats, are we? Because I forgot mine.
Mine's in the closet. Yeah.
I'm gonna admit that until very, very, very recent, I was a skeptic on that, and I will mention it. I have no qualms. I'll be like, I know it's crazy. I know it sounds, and I know I'm wrong, but it sounds ridiculous that we haven't been able to to go to the moon again, this and that, and it wasn't until I saw a video of, the people that constantly talk about, well, if Neil Armstrong was the first man on the move, how come who took the picture and the lighting, and you could see in the lighting, well, the lighting that was the lighting as it is on the moon, as we see from the footage from the 60s, cannot be duplicated on studio lights. I mean, maybe now or surely now we can do it with technology.
Now, I mean, since we are talking about this, and it's probably a big mistake, but from what I have gathered, mind you, I don't believe that we faked the moon landing, but
No,
apparently some of the footage was fake because, again, think about the time that it is, think about the cameras and the quality of the technology that they had at the time. It was crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So a lot of it
might have been
could
touched.
not be seen. Otherwise, it was too blurry or too dark, whatever the hell it was. It was
Also-
garbage. So apparently, some of it was indeed fake, but not that we faked the moon landing. It's just that the footage wasn't good, and they wanted to show the public that we got to the moon.
Also, no lag between the communication between his, control Houston and the moon. Absolutely no lag. Whereas we cannot do a GG together, all three of us.
But in the 1960s, from the moon to Houston, no lag.
No lag whatsoever.
They clearly took some liberties with the film, but that film, believe it or not, man, I found it to be like almost scary. You know what I mean? Because it was almost like I already told you, man. One of the biggest fears I have, dude, is space. Dude, I am so fucking fearful. Space is unreal. Like I can go out into the middle of the ocean and it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna float here. I'm not gonna drown because I know how to I know how to swim, so I'll be fine. You know what I mean? But dude, put me in an astronaut suit into space. I'm just sitting there yelling, screaming, and going crazy.
Nobody can hear you. Nobody can hear you screaming in space.
I know it's even worse. Yeah.
So
you know who you're sharing that fear with? Greg Miller. Greg Miller from Kind of Funny.
Really?
Yeah. He's also does not like space. He hates space.
I can't stand it.
it's
just the most scariest thing. If you really, really think about it, you know what I'm saying? You are in the most hostile place. You know what I mean? And this film, the First Man, I mean, it just kind of highlights the fear that he has, just the fear of the unknown, because you just don't know. Just don't know. You know what I mean?
Okay, so how come you don't feel the same about the ocean? Like, sure, we know more about the ocean than we know space, but let's say you're in the middle of this. Well, okay, so maybe we don't. Whatever the case may be. All right, you're in the middle because I am afraid of being stuck in open waters. Because I have a massive respect on the border of fear of open waters.
Yeah.
Because you're there. Sure, you're floating. Sure, I know how to swim. I know how to swim underwater. I can hold my breath for a good 30 seconds. If I'm actually been going to the gym and taking care of myself, I could do it for a minute. No.
I don't know. I don't have that fear. I've always liked being out in the water.
And I don't mind being on a boat. I don't mind being like as long as I'm in a boat, or the same thing if I was in space. As long as I'm in a spaceship or whatever, I'm fine.
I like it too, and I respect it as well. But my fear is more stupid actually, because it's ludicrous. It's based on the idea of open water, but except that this time it's not open. It's completely the opposite. I'm afraid of getting trapped on one of those big water towers, like the one we have here in Sanford. And
really?
Yes, yes. The one that you see by
yeah.
when you're driving on Altamont, for example. Shit, dude, those things terrify me. Like I don't want to be trapped in one of those. It's just that's it. I'm done. I'll kill myself.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's my fear. And I'm sticking to it. Huh? Water towers, yeah.
Hey, everybody's got their fears.
Being inside of the tower, I do like having water towers. I actually, now that I move, I happen to have one with visual distance, and I like seeing it, but I don't like the idea of being there. Like you said, respect, borderlining on fear.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to first.
Small little tangent there between conspiracies. No, ocean fear.
It's funny because it's what like Mad Dog is saying, like, dude, it's a crazy endeavor to take, and it almost shows the things the things that were happening in his life first, which I didn't know, with the loss of his 2.5-year-old daughter to a brain tumor. And even though he still had he still was able to move on, and he has a family and all that, but in this era, he all his friends or people that he know are dying in these missions. Like, I didn't know this mission was so bloody.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. A lot of astronauts died during this test, and trying to test out like the rocket ship system. Let's just say the steps that they have to take once they're up there, how incredibly ridiculously precise they have to be with every move, and how unexpected things could be when you're in orbit, So fantastic movie. I truly enjoyed it. I do enjoy movies that are based on real event, true stories and real events. If this is a true story, that is. No, I'm kidding. We landed on the moon. We got on the moon. My eyes have been open. That's the movie that I saw actually was last night. And I just put this movie because it was late at night and we're trying to watch something, and I was like, well, let's just watch this because it's available. It's on Prime. Actually, it's not free. You have to rent it right now. But I did not expect this movie to be this good, to me, in my opinion. And that was the Hitman's Bodyguard.
Okay. I want to watch that movie because from the trailer. It looks really funny. Yeah.
I would say, I'm obviously not gonna go with spoilers or anything like that, especially if you want to watch it.
I know.
It has Ryan Reynolds, Samuel
Jackson, man.
Yeah. Salma Hayek was there also, although I
really gotta watch this movie.
Well, I don't feel like they really used her fully, to the extent that the character could have been used, but she was also an awesome character there. And dude, freaking Gary Oldman. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Salma Hayek is absolutely beautiful, and I love her.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, obviously.
I just want to throw that out there. That's all.
100%. Hey, we. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Dude, okay.
I am a huge fan of Gary Oldman for some reason. I really like.
For some reason, he's a great actor.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
He's awesome. He's great.
It's understandable that you're a fan of Gary Oldman.
What I see him, like, for example, he's doing he's acting on, what's his game? Star Citizen, like that Squadron 76
Really?
thing. Yeah, he's on Squadron 76. His likeness is like, they made him like Gary Oldman has Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
And that just throw it in my head. Just throws him into like, oh well, this is like probably like B actor character. Like I don't know if that's enough to consider him a B actor or anything like that.
Gary Oldman?
Yeah, is he an A-lister? I don't know.
He's an A-lister.
Okay, all right, no, that's cool. I stand corrected. I've always liked him ever since.
I mean, let me ask you something really quick. What B-list actor
or the Sixth Element? Go ahead.
The Fifth Element?
The Fifth Element, yeah.
What B-list actor can you name off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head, Joe Leguizamo.
Yeah,
I think that's more like C.
Wow.
That could be somewhere in the seas.
I thought it could be somewhere in the seas. Yeah.
Poor John.
It's
By the way, I
he's a great actor.
I think he has a stand-up comedy. I just want to add this because I saw it and I really enjoyed it. He has a stand-up comedy on Netflix. I think it's Hispanic History for Morons, or something like that.
Right.
It's really, really good.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I'll put him on my list then, because I love me some Joe Leguizamo.
There's a lot of history there.
Yeah.
And especially for us, for Puerto Ricans and we know our history, Spaniards and the slaves and everything. Dude, absolutely worth it. Absolutely. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I laughed my ass off. I learned a few things. Really good stuff.
Yeah. So all right. So coming back to the Bodyguard. I'm gonna call it Bodyguard, but now that I remember, there was I'm thinking the Bodyguard. The always love you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Which the trailer of it, the teaser, I think, had that song, and it was phenomenal. So. So you watched it also, Mad Dog. You said, really? I thought it was okay. And I was like, well, fair enough. I'm not going to say it was the best movie ever or anything like that, but I will say it was because you mentioned that it looks like a funny comedy and stuff like that. And yes, it has comedy, and the banter between freaking Ryan Reynolds and Samuel Jackson is hilarious. Although, sometimes it gets hilarious, sometimes it just gets expected. Like this is Samuel Jackson's motherfucker level of Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
There are so many motherfuckers in this movie that he basically has ruined the word motherfucker. All right, and so. Yeah, well, wait till you see the movie.
All right.
But that's okay. That's okay because I like that the movie. It has points where it kind of takes like it starts. It presents you what it is, and it looks like it's gonna be funny, and then it continues, and then goes into like some dark shit. I was like, whoa, not dark, but. You know what I mean? Like not expected for the type of movie that I am anticipating. So that immediately got me more interested in it. And
So there's
And
a certain
the action-
disparity in the tone of the movie.
it felt like it, but once you see it, once you see the movie through, you kind of see,
It
okay,
makes
this is
sense?
what they're shooting of. Yeah, it makes sense. This is what they're shooting for. And speaking of shooting, there's a lot of shooting, of course, and there's also a lot of great action pieces, and great use of cinematography for those action pieces. It was I don't know, man. I think I enjoyed it a lot more than that I anticipated. Well, that goes without saying, but a lot more than even the Deadpool movies. I would say probably the second one. I'm not remembering the first one. Yeah. It is.
I almost choked on my beer. What did you say again?
Yeah, I think I enjoyed it more than at least the second Deadpool movie.
All right,
Let's
I
see.
have to ask because the only person here that's seen this movie other than you is Mad Dog. Mad Dog, what do you think?
About the film, I thought, like I said, I thought it was okay. I didn't find no. To be fair, I think I've had this discussion before, and when it comes to comedies, I don't see the funny that a lot of people tend to see. And it's not that it's not humorous; it just doesn't make me laugh. You know what I mean? And like a lot of these comedies nowadays, it's just like you're trying too hard to be funny. And sometimes this movie kind of falls into that. Yes, there's a little more action involved as well. Obviously, it's a hitman, and the hitman itself has a bodyguard, so that already, opens the door for a lot of action. But I don't know. I walked away. I was like, this was okay. If I never watch it again or never even whatever, I'm all right with it. But no, I'm glad you enjoyed it. For the record, Dreamy. It just for me, it didn't. I'm not, and I should have known because, like I said, it's a comedy. It's that weird thing, man. When I see comedies, it's just nowadays, it's just like they're just not like the comedies that I'm used to.
Yeah.
And so
It kind of makes me wonder, like, what is because I can see that if this was like, I don't know, like if they were doing not Jurassic Park, what was the other stupid movie? Jumanji. Like that type of comment that was dumb,
Yeah.
And the times where you laugh, it's just more like a reaction of everybody else
chuckle.
laughing.
Yeah.
It's not legitimately funny. And to be fair, the movie doesn't have anything that I would say that I would still be laughing as of right now, even though it did have some moments that it did make me laugh out loud.
There was a funny ass moment that was ruined by having it in the trailer. And I was like, this was a hilarious moment, but I've already seen this. I've already seen the trailer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's a shame that they did that.
Yeah.
And that's the worst part. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, you have other couple of things in the trailer. It's those type of things are just like you know it. Trailers give more away nowadays than they should. But it's like, man, if you gotta save your good stuff to blow people away when they see the movie.
They barely even know what a teaser trailer is.
No.
Yeah.
On the teaser, actually, I think I know which scene he's describing, and I believe it is in the teaser. But it'd be interesting when you see it. If you watch it, Reaper.
Chaos, yeah.
I still will. I will. 'Cause I really want to.
Yeah.
It's not a bad film. I'm definitely not saying it's a bad film.
No.
Yeah. I'm not,
Yeah.
not
Well, I
at all.
mean, from what you said and what you the comments,
Yeah.
you never said that. You just said it was okay.
Yeah.
So,
You know what? If you didn't enjoy the action, I thought the action was really good on it. Because okay
I've
sounds
seen a
like
lot-
I
I've
didn't
seen
see
this
that.
to think the deal is that I've seen like I've seen action films, you know what I mean? So it's just like not that you haven't, you know what I'm saying? But when I've seen
Well,
action
let's
films,
be fair. Yeah.
I mean, but on top of that, I've seen like they're just like I'm trying to think like an action film that would just blow you. The Raid Redemption. You know what I'm saying? You see the Raid Redemption. You are looking at like pure, just like holy crap, tense action. You know what I mean?
That's a
And not
movie.
to-
That's
not
an
to say-
action movie
yeah,
right there.
absolutely. So.
But you
when
could
I-
also have the opposite. You could have John Wick 3, which was okay. This is too much action. Now you kind of
Correct.
desensitize
Now
me to
you're
the whole
numbing.
thing.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
numbing. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Now it's just you have to have those breathers, and if you don't have the breathers, then at some point you just like you said, desensitized. You're numb to the whole what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, so that's all I've been doing.
Okay, Mr.
Ah.
Chaos Reaper.
Well,
What
this
have
is gonna be really, really,
Really
short.
long.
No. No, okay. My situation right now is my wife is living in Riverview, which is 3.5 hours away from me. So for the last 3 weeks, because I have my mother, Mama Chaos, Mama Reaper is visiting,
Yeah.
I have been driving 7 hours from here to there and then back.
Wow.
Okay, so my time has been somewhat limited. I am jumping between my PlayStation and my wife's PlayStation, which they don't have the same games installed. So
a problem you never foresaw?
Have you
right?
heard about the
honestly.
family thing? You can do.
well, yeah, but then the PlayStations do have limited space, you know.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh,
Yeah. That's the problem. She plays
yeah.
games that I really don't care for, and okay. Anyways, so I've really been stuck playing my usual Apex Legends, Final Fantasy 14, Overwatch. I did reinstall Monster Hunter World because September it's almost there, and so I did that, right? I obviously rewatched The Matrix. Yes,
Nice.
Yes.
I actually rented it on Amazon Prime for $3.99, I think.
Yes, I saw it there, and actually, I ended up buying it. I said, "Fuck it, let's
Yeah.
go digital."
I want to buy it, but I want to buy the physical copy.
No, I'm going all digital. Like I literally have like all three of them on. Like
Yeah, that's
on
true.
The
You
shelf.
have
I
them
could have
already.
just stood up and put it in. And I was
Oh.
like, "Nah, that's all right. Let's just buy it."
Let's just buy it.
Wait. So you actually own the physical copy,
I do,
and you bought the digital one.
and I bought a digital copy.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. I'll be here all evening.
Okay.
Hey, if any movie was gonna deserve it, it had to be that one. Am I right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'll give. Well, the first one deserves that. The other two
I only
are
bought the first
highly debatable.
one. I only bought the first one.
Okay, so I did watch the. I'm gonna put this in now because I don't know if you guys have seen it. The Boys trailer. The Boys is a TV. It's a show.
No? Yes, I've seen.
Yeah.
We've seen the trailer. I know it started already, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah, so I
I
saw
mean,
the
it's good stuff.
trailer and the music video is a Slipknot music video with a new song, which I highly enjoyed. I watched that today.
Yeah.
It does have scene of the show, which from the trailer that I saw, right?
Uh-huh.
I did not capture how much violence there is in this show.
From the
Oh.
trailer, you didn't capture it from the
you don't,
trailer.
You don't understand. When
Wow.
you watch this music video and you
Uh-huh.
see those scenes, that show is violent and bloody and gory as fuck.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Oh. It
So
can't go too far though, because if it goes too far, then it lost me. Because I don't like the extreme gore. I only saw the part where I only saw from the trailer when the guy runs. So he can't stop. He's supposed to be like the Flash. And he can't stop, and he just runs through and basically explodes this girl that was on the sidewalk on the side of the street. And the guy that's holding the girl, he's just holding her two hands.
her hands. Yeah,
Her
yeah.
hands.
That's actually in the video.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
so
there's-
does it get worse than that?
There's a particular scene that I'm guessing is the protagonist of the show
Ah.
smacking this dude's head against, I think it's a sink or something, and it's going with the beat of the song. But holy shit! No, dude. I mean, I don't know how much you like metal music,
Uh-huh.
but if you can stomach, like, I think it's the music video is like 6 minutes long or something.
Yep, it is.
If-
Yep, I just looked it up.
Oh yeah. If you can watch it
Uh-huh.
and just look at the scenes from the show, you will know what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
You'll probably know from there. That'll give you a good gauge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they did show Slipknot as
Yeah.
the band for their music video, so
yeah.
yeah. All right, so I actually do want to watch that show. And last but not least, I rewatched the Netflix show for Sherlock Holmes with Benedict Cumberbatch. I rewatched season 3 because my mother had Mama Reaper hadn't watched it. So I said, we sat down and watched it, and I started season 4, which I have already watched, but I was, rewatching it again. It's not the same. Like I rewatched season 3, and I loved it. I enjoyed it as much as the first time I saw it. I really do like that show.
Really?
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
dude,
an excellent show.
I
Excellent
am
show.
The first 3 seasons are the absolute best. The first one, the first episode I on rewatch, on a second watching, is total crap.
Oh, okay.
Okay, if you the first time I watched it, because I was so I was expecting it for so long, I was waiting for so long that when it came out, I watched. It's only 3 episodes, and it just feels like it suffered from the same thing that Game of Thrones suffered. Instead of giving it 6 or they gave 3 episodes. They didn't even make them longer. I think it's the same length as the other seasons, maybe like 15 minutes extra on each one. But it's not enough, and they go through one episode. They go through so many things.
Yeah, the original series, or the original thing, each episode is like almost movie length. They're like an hour and a half each.
Yeah, but
So
they're
it's like,
focused
yeah.
on the cases, and that's what makes it interesting.
Exactly.
Here on the last season, they're so focused on the drama of the characters that the cases kind of take a back seat, and that hurts the show.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that does. Yeah, I can
You
see
know?
why that. I can see
So
why that.
yeah, so I want to watch the other 2 episodes because I do remember the plot and how it ends. Season 4. I want to watch the other 2 episodes to see if they really it's as I remember, that whatever they did on the first episode, they still used it well on the other 2. But when I rewatched that first episode of season 4, I was like, what is happening? Why is this happening? You know. But
you have
what?
No, but you have seen it before.
Yeah.
You didn't have the reaction the first time.
No, because I've been waiting for. Because, dude, as soon as season 4 got announced, I was so hyped, and I just watched it with that hypeness the whole time. Like, I never slowed down to like really see it.
Okay.
You know. So now I'm actually like going through it, like watching it, analyzing, like why is this happening and shit like that. You know, I'm at this point, I'm to the point that I'm just nitpicking.
Yeah.
Well, there are problems with the show, but I just take it further and nitpick because that's just what I do. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, that just means you like the show a lot.
Oh
yeah,
yes,
and obviously,
yes,
yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Dude, Benedict Cumberbatch is an amazing performance.
I agree. I don't know
Okay.
if I Sherlock, but I like. I like.
Somebody told me recently, and I shit you not, that they did not like, and this is a woman, that she doesn't like Benedict Cumberbatch because he sort of kind of feels like an alien.
What?
So, if you've ever seen
He
the
is the
sad
Doctor
part is,
Strange.
he not only that, he was Khan in
That
yeah.
right there.
Oh,
The first
oh,
time
there
she
you
ever
go.
saw him
Big Khan,
was
yeah.
as Khan.
There
And she
you
said
go.
this role fits him perfectly. And apparently she can't see past that, or I don't know if it's just the way that he is, and you know, because he has a particular kind of presence,
Yes.
right? But that carries so well with the character of Sherlock, because Sherlock is just not a normal human being.
Mhm.
No, he's not. He's
No,
very,
exactly.
He's very
And,
eccentric.
my God, he does it so well. If you haven't watched this show, you owe it to yourself to watch it.
Noted.
Yeah,
all right.
It's on Netflix. Yeah, you can
Yes.
actually just watch one episode. Like I said, it's a movie length.
Yeah, dude, just
Yeah,
like
good
sit
stuff.
down and watch the first episode and tell me what you think. If you could do this by next week, I would really appreciate that. Because I really want to
Okay,
hear
fine.
I really
And
want to
now-
hear your thoughts on it.
And now we're asking for too much. I'm just saying.
Of course, 'cause I'm still waiting for that hour of stream. You got two homework stream. I need an hour of Wolfenstein and at least watch one episode of Sherlock.
Oh my goodness, the work keeps piling up.
Yeah, that's okay. Mad Dog still has an hour of stream.
Oh, that's right.
So yeah, that's been my week.
Awesome.
So awesome, brother. So all I've done, only have 2 items. One, I finally completed Shadow of the Colossus, the remake.
Oh yes, and you
which
right.
is hands down as frustrating as that last freaking Colossus is.
Oh wow.
Hands
I
down,
saw it.
it is probably easily one of the best games ever made, and that's not even an exaggeration.
Wow.
Wow.
Everyone should play this, even if you don't beat it. It doesn't matter. It's just And let me tell you, man, shout out to Blue Point. Blue Point is the guys who essentially remade it look the way it is now.
Mhm.
This game looks just freaking beautiful. You look at this and you go, damn, why can't everybody do this? You know what I mean? To be fair, though, obviously Team Eco, it's building off of what they had, and Team Eco is top notch as well. So let's be real. It takes 20 years to make a game, but when they do, man, they visually, it's a stunning game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that
Last
shows
Guardian
here
notwithstanding.
the.
I was just gonna mention that.
It's fun-
I mean,
it's
Last
fun-
Guardian look beautiful.
Yeah, I was gonna say visually, it's still
Yeah,
falls
yeah.
within the
That's true.
within that thing.
That's true.
That said, it's funny you mentioned that. I just purchased that game on a sale. But anyway, moving on.
The
Bodyguard.
hey, you could stream that too.
Oh, here we go.
So, what is your obsession with streaming?
Because
I
just gotta
realize-
get to the
I
point,
realize we need
don't have the
content.
time.
Yeah, that's exactly why we need the content.
We need the
And
content.
you know what? I think I may take you up on that. Although I'll probably play something else first streaming. But yeah, so definitely Shadow Colossus, guys, easily so good. And Gilberto has not played it. That I am literally going to mail this bad boy to him.
Yeah.
That he can fix that erre.
So hey, I have my own homework to do.
There you go.
you
You
go.
can stream. Oh, well, that's gonna be a good stream.
Oh,
Now that I think about it, because I played it and like I said, I beat it like in 6 hours. So obviously somewhere in there that muscle memory is still working. So I was like, okay, this is a except for that freaking last Colossi. Damn that guy. Damn him.
Did you finish
Anyway.
it the first time?
I've never seen anyone
Yeah,
fall
I did.
50 times in a row.
Yeah, and it was more than 50 for the record. But yes, I did beat it on PlayStation 2, and so I had already seen the ending. It's just a beautiful game, and it's ridiculous, man. This is literally art. When you say this is an art masterpiece, and on top of that, it's also exhilarating. You see that freaking Colossus the first time, and you realize you got to figure out how to take him down. You know what I mean? It's like damn, but yeah, it's good stuff. So beat that, uninstalled it, and mailing to Chaos Reaper.
Yes. And still just text me like, "Hey, what's your address?" I'm like, I give him my address. I'm like, "Okay, what's up?" Like, "Oh, I'm just sending you Shadow of the Colossus."
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, this
You
is
go.
happening.
Absolutely. The movie that I saw this week, other than The Matrix, guys, is called Bomb City, and I did post it, so I don't know if anybody saw any of the
Bomb
trailers.
City.
Bomb City, yeah. So this is actually based on a true story. It's actually a movie that's available on Prime, free for Prime if you have Prime Video.
I do.
And basically it takes place in Texas in the 90s. It's a story of Brian Deneke. Well, this is real life, so spoilers on real life, guys. But
But it's not real
essentially,
life.
there's this sort of, we can almost say gang war, but it's not really gang war because they're not gangs. So this takes place, it takes place in Texas. Texas is known for being very, how should I say this? Straight-laced, you know what I mean? They go to church, you know what I mean? Church is a big thing, and football is a big thing. You know, church and football are the two biggest things coming out of Texas, right?
Listen,
So-
everything is big in Texas.
Exactly.
That's true.
Exactly.
Don't mess with Texas.
So, in a conservative town of Texas, there's a group of young people who are considered like punk rockers, right? They've got their mohawks, you know, they got their earrings, they got their tattoos, they dress differently, they got chains on their pants, they skateboard, just your typical, you know, punk look, right? They throw head music and all this. So there's a clash between I want to say they were high school football students who are also well-to-do, you know, from money families that have
family.
money. Yeah, exactly. Then if you have your punkers, and a clash comes to head, and someone dies, and it becomes this. The outcome of it is absolutely ridiculous. Like nothing. You should still watch it. Regardless, because the way it's done, the film is done. It's really visceral the way it does the story. But essentially, the person accused, Brian Deneke, obviously, is the one who passes away, and just the most ridiculous way. You know, and just like You cannot see that and know that happened and know that this goes to court and go, this guy has to go to jail. Not only does he not go to jail, he literally gets a slap in the hand. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And that's what the movie is basically trying to shine a light on. Is like, people, just because they look different, and not to mention he was a punk rock whatever, but he was a responsible kid. He wasn't going crazy like that. He just looked different. You know what I mean? That's what it came down to. He just looked different.
Stereotypes, bro.
Yeah. So
Profiling.
I can definitely recommend the movie. I liked it. Well, my wife, like I said, we always do this. Like I said, afterwards we'll start looking up stuff and whatever. I think Marilyn Manson has a piece in the movie,
wow.
and yeah, he has which he's talking about because he brings up that story at some point in an interview, and they kind of use that portion of it. It's sad. It's a sad story, obviously, with what ends up happening, but it's still pretty cool. The movie's actually pretty cool. But that, gentlemen, is all that I have been doing.
Okay.
And we're back, guys, and it is time for our trailer
of the week. I wasn't gonna hold it for that long.
Nope.
That's okay. I had the pipes for it, so I
wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
mother-in-law.
I just took a sip of my beer and my lungs weren't ready, so I just kind of like sneak in of the week there.
Of the week. Our trailer of the week, guys. It's a little title called Zombieland 2.
Oh, of course. What else was gonna be?
I mean, was there anything else?
I really didn't watch any other trailer. Well, I saw the Boys trailer, but that already started, so that doesn't count.
That was our trailer of the week, like weeks ago now. So.
So it really doesn't count.
Welcome to the party.
Episode 170, sir.
You
Sorry,
finally caught up.
I'm still catching up. All right, I'm still catching up.
No worries. I'm just messing with you. All right. So, what do you guys think of this Zombieland 2?
Dude, I am all up on. I am in it. Yeah.
It's good to see that the original cast came back. It's interesting that apparently a lot of time has passed, right? Because the little girl is not a little girl anymore.
Right.
And yet they haven't met anybody until now.
Yeah.
Until now, I guess
that makes all the sense in the world.
Of course,
obviously.
And not just like one person, right? We got Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
We got whoever the dude is with the weed bag. And then
With a man bun.
With the man bun. Some
With the weed
some
bag.
girl dressed in pink that's really annoying already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then of course there's a copy, right? There's another version of the two main.
I'm sorry.
leads.
Hold up a second. Who did you mention first there?
The first one I mentioned was Rosario Dawson.
Who's that?
Oh, she's the one who was pointing the gun at Woody Harrelson when he was laying on the floor.
Okay, good. Because I don't know that many names. Okay.
Oh, yes. So I don't know who she plays or what she does, but clearly she's kind of a badass because she's got Woody Harrelson on the floor. And Woody Harrelson's supposed to be the badass. So
yeah.
But
Love interest.
of course, everybody's getting some. That's
exactly.
a good thing.
It's a zombie apocalypse. Everybody needs to get laid.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
Everybody's gonna double tap.
As long as they stick to what made the original great and just expand on that, I think it's going to be great.
A little fun fact on the first movie that he's obsessed with Twinkies.
Yeah.
He never really ate a Twinkie. Those weren't really Twinkies. There was some because he's vegan or some shit. So they made something vegan that looks like a Twinkie for him.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yes.
That's happened because anybody seen Howard and Kumar Go to White Castle?
Yes.
Well, Kumar is vegetarian, so when he's eating those burgers at the end, those are
Hey, there could be
Veggie burgers.
veggie burgers.
Burgers.
I mean,
I
veggie
think-
burgers are a thing.
I
Yeah,
think if
yeah.
you look closely at it, I think they're just buns with cheese.
Oh my god!
Oh, that's terrible.
They could even sneaking a veggie burger in
They,
there.
they could have put a digital version of.
Good lord!
Harold and Kumar, I don't think it has the budget for a digital version.
Yeah, I don't think they can do CGI. Not even a patty.
Reaper, you mentioned a fun fact about the original Zombieland. I'm gonna give you a fun fact about the original Zombieland that applies to my life, because as MacDuck is well aware, I have developed this thing where I constantly need to double check anything that I have done, whatever action it is. Something as simplistic as I lock the car with the key fob. I'm gonna lock it again to make sure that it's locked. I logged out from work and punch out. I'm gonna go back and make sure that I did. And those
So you-
constant double things
you-
that I've been doing it.
You double tap everything.
Yes.
Pretty much, yeah.
I double
Pretty
tap
much.
everything, and that
Yeah.
is all I learned. I learned that philosophy from the original Zombieland, and to this day, my friend, it's become part of of my daily routine on everything that I do.
All right. Could you give me one moment?
And moment's gone.
Okay. I just want to say this. It's up to you if you want to live it or not. But so you must have a really happy wife.
But bump. Well played, sir. Well
I gotta,
played.
I gotta make sure that because once I finish, I finish. There's no double tap for me.
There's no double tapping that, right?
Not even sure how we got.
Wow. Awesome.
Well,
Awesome.
what's
Oh, news, guys. The news to abuse, not
Yeah,
David.
useless news.
Well, first off,
And you
our
can use.
trailer again, once again, is Zombieland 2. Check it out. I'll
Sherlock.
obviously post it on the show notes as well.
Yes.
The news, the useless news that you can use. I will start off at the top. We
right.
have the entire Marvel Phase 4 announced and ready to go, guys.
What?
So let's just kind
Really?
of briskly go through it to see the plans that they have. First one that's coming out next, May 1st of 2020, the Black Widow film.
Oh, that's the next one. Okay.
That's the very next one, yeah. And that is also a prequel. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Spoilers for anybody who didn't realize
Right.
that.
Now I have a question though. How excited are we about this?
I was gonna ask. Do we need a Black Widow movie?
a Black Widow or a Phase 4?
No, Phase 4 overall.
Oh.
Personally, I think even David, I've told David this.
Hmm.
I was done at Endgame. I have not seen Spider-Man, and not that I won't see it, but I'm not rushing to the theater to see it.
Right.
And
Yeah, no,
I feel
me either.
bad about it, but I just feel like our story's wrapped up. You know what I mean? I just feel like it's wrapped up.
Yeah, me too, honestly. And I know they're gonna keep going with it and continuing it, but I don't. I mean, I heard that the Spider-Man movie is really good.
I heard-
I don't want it to feel like they're just milking this to the ends of the world.
I mean,
Well, they are moving on from certain characters, so it is going
Right.
to be new content.
Right.
yeah. And to be fair, it's. I mean, it's. If they don't do it, then people are be mad about it too. If suddenly, like, how mad were we when we didn't get a Star Wars movie, for example, until Phantom Menace, and then we were all excited, and then we saw Phantom Menace, and that was shit, and then we were upset because.
Hey, listen, they gave us Darth Maul, okay?
It
They
was
gave us Jar Jar
well,
Binks, but
you know what I mean. Exactly. You know what I mean. It's like at some
Yeah.
point, now that Disney owns it, and we know that Disney has been milking Star Wars, for example, they're gonna do the same thing with Marvel. And to be fair, I'm okay watching like the single stories. Like, I don't need another arc story, on the background, another Infinity Stone.
That's gonna
level
happen.
thing. Yeah, no, we know, and that sucks, because that'll be, trying to. That'll be playing it too close to what they did originally, and that will suck.
Okay, this is the way I see it. They're literally emulating what comic books do in the movies.
True.
Because all comic books, each individual one has its own story, but obviously it's an overarching story regardless. Yeah. So I feel like that's what they're doing. I'm okay with it as long as they do it right, but I'm not excited about it until I see something.
Yeah. Right now, Spider-Man was a nice surprise. I gotta say, I did enjoy it.
Oh, you watched?
But I saw Spider-Man. I thought it was great. Yeah, and this is coming from someone that did not like the first Spider-Man movie at all of the MCU, actually, or any Spider-Man's movie ever done. Actually, too.
Whoa! Slow down, buddy.
I'm sorry.
Slow down.
I'm sorry that there hasn't been a good Spider-Man movie until probably this recent one.
Listen, I will fight you.
I'll said it. What are you gonna throw me? The Tobey Maguire thing?
Listen, okay, stop. Okay, listen.
Get the fuck out.
Spider-Man 1 and 2 with Tobey Maguire. As much as I hate Tobey Maguire because I hate Tobey Maguire.
Dude, you're not gonna convince me of that because I've seen them already, and I did not watch the third one because
they're really good. I mean, listen, even the first one with all its campiness, it has that Spider-Man feel to it,
Spider-Man is just for record's sake. Spider-Man is just not a character that David has ever really connected to.
No.
So believe me when I say I've had this discussion.
Really?
When you present a character with superpowers or Batman, which is a league of his own, I can see that being amazing. When I think of Spider-Man, I think of a guy just shooting web, and it didn't dawn on me.
Wait. How do you not find amazing of a dude shooting web?
Dude, hold on. Shut the fuck up. I'm not done. All the Spidey to me was just the guy that was he's just swing off the web, and punching, and of course he can fight because he can just as fast just get out of harm's way, and he has a tingling sense or whatever the fuck. So I never understood the character of Spider-Man until those Tobey Maguire movies where I saw I see what is his actual superpowers more than just flinging, from building to building. Still, I didn't find those movies when coming off from what other superhero movie would have been? Not that many actually, but
at that point, it would have been X-Men, yeah.
It was probably what?
X-Men was X-Men, yeah.
It was probably that. It was probably that he hadn't hit me. Like I saw, I'm not saying Spider-Man 1 was bad because I'm not saying that. And if that's the impression, I apologize.
Just a character has never.
It was never. Yeah, it was never like you see, freaking Batman the origins, not the Dark Knight, but the previous, the first one, Batman whatever. And that's a movie. That's a character. That's a movie, And then you see the Dark Knight, forget it. But Spider-Man was
listen, man, you can't compare like that to basically any of the Spider-Man movies yet. Okay, except one. And I swear to God, if I don't get you with this, I'm gonna be pissed. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I like amazing Spider-Man movie.
I like that movie. Trust me. By then I had already jumped the second. I was because I just came out from finishing the Marvel Spider-Man on PS4, and I was already like, okay, this character is actually cool. Let me just pay more attention. And then Spidey, the Spider-Verse came in, but I've also seen I also saw the Marvel's the Spider-Man movie, the Homecoming, and I was not impressed.
Well,
all right, guys.
I don't know. Yeah,
this is not part of the news item.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
For the record,
Move on, let's move
I see where you guys stand. Where he stands on that particular character.
Yeah,
As a matter of fact, that may be a good hot topic in the future.
Well, right now,
Right now, yeah. So Black Widow coming
Black
out May
Widow.
1st of 2020. And then coming to Disney Plus, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's coming out in fall 2020.
no, that I don't consider anything on streaming services to be part of Faces. No, fuck that shit.
I mean,
It is part of Phase because it
yeah.
carries this. I mean, it carries it literally the same, like the same
I'm-
actors and everything.
yeah,
So
you can't really just
yeah.
brush it off. This is
No,
not
yeah.
Shield,
Well, I-
Agents of Shield.
I'm completely brushing it off. And Agents of Shield, I
Agents
will
of
argue
S.H.I.E.L.D.,
that is
yeah.
fantastic, from what I've been told by Mad Dog.
Yeah.
And
And-
I do believe his opinion.
No, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is not that Agent of Shield is good or bad. It's just that it basically has nothing to do with the actual universe.
Again,
Correction.
something to argue.
no. Actually, it did kind of intertwine with it, but I see what you mean as far as the
Did it have an effect on the
Yeah.
movie universe?
no, but the movie universe had an effect on it.
Right. Well, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
The snap.
Next on the list.
the the Eternals, November. This is actually a film. November 6, 2020.
I don't know.
that one I don't-
I'm ready to be
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I'm not sure if I would have chosen that one.
I don't know. We said the
Shang-Chi,
same thing about Guardians of the Galaxy, and we all liked the first one. and
True,
then
but I
that's it.
knew more about them. But yeah.
Okay.
This one is a really random one. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. That's
No idea
coming
what that is.
February- Yeah, me either.
Not even.
February 12th, 2021.
Mhm.
Then it goes to WandaVision, which is also coming to Disney Plus.
Mhm.
Doctor Strange is getting a sequel. Doctor Strange
Yes.
in the Multiverse of Madness,
Mm-hmm.
which, from what I understand, is meant to be a little bit more suspenseful, creepy. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah. That'll be cool. Except I don't like that subtitle. The Multiverse of Madness. sounds like a dumb ride at a circus. You know.
It sounds like a 1960s comic book.
Yeah, I
It
know,
does.
right? It
It's
does.
exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Loki coming spring 2021, also to
Okay.
Disney Plus. Hawkeye coming fall 2021, also to Disney Plus. And then the final movie, the final title of the Phase 4, Thor: Love and Thunder,
Oh,
November 5th,
yeah.
2021, which will have Jane come back, played by the same actress. Her name escapes.
Natalie Portman.
Thank you. As female Thor.
Female Thor.
Super exciting stuff.
Super
Yeah,
exciting.
this face. I don't know about this face right now. Where's Black Panther 2? Like,
That's
none
a
of that.
great question, isn't it?
Honestly, I
literally.
was about to say, like, wait, where's Black Panther?
There's some huge gaps in this thing that I haven't heard. Yeah.
And that takes us to 2021,
Mhm.
which, I mean,
Wow.
to be fair, that's 2 years from now, but still, it's like, yeah, where is Black Panther? Black Panther is what, 2 years ago now? A year ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And I think,
Well-
I mean, obviously, this is gonna be massage and more series or more movies are gonna be included in it. You know, I'm sure that Phase 3 did not have some of the movies that ended up coming later on, right?
The only one that I know of was Spider-Man was not like set in stone.
Uh-huh.
So when they finally got the deal with Sony,
Mhm.
that one took the place and they pushed back Black Panther a little bit.
Oh,
Black
okay.
Panther backed a little bit. Other than that, though, everything else has been pretty, for the most part,
Yeah.
set the way that they were wanting to go. So,
Got you.
all right, who has the next piece?
I'll take it because
Yes.
this sounds.
I only have one.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Well, this sounds very ridiculous, but you guys remember Doom, right? You all played the 1993 classic, you know,
No.
Doom.
Love it.
I didn't have
Uh,
a PC.
But you have played Doom. Please say yes.
You
Please
played-
say yes.
You played the first Doom.
You played Doom. We're talking about Doom, the first
Yeah,
Doom.
the first
You have
Doom, yeah.
not pl- Reaper, Chaos Reaper has not played first Doom. That's my news story right there.
I'm sorry.
Of all the games Anyway,
Really?
don't
You haven't
worry.
played the first? Okay.
It's
Well,
okay.
hey, don't worry. It's available.
You're talking about the original one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the original
yeah.
one. Yeah.
No, I didn't play again. I didn't have a PC, and you want me to play it now? Are you serious? Like, what's wrong with you?
It's a quintessential title. It's a seminal title that you need to experience at least once. Obviously, the gameplay doesn't hold up. I'm going to tell you right now, unless you're a fan.
I haven't played the first one. How am I a fan?
Unless you're a fan.
Doom?
Yeah, you like Doom.
Well, I mean, I love the last one.
Well, you're playing the last
That's good
one.
enough.
Oh my god. Okay.
You have a glaring hole that you need to. I said a glaring, not a glory hole.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I understood you the first time, Dream. You didn't have to specify.
Anyway, you're okay because you will be able to play Doom now. It's getting re-released. Doom 1, 2, as a title, and then Doom 3 as a separate title. But you need a Bethesda account in order to play it.
Oh, that's the news that you shared. Yes.
Oh.
Even though there's no multiplayer or any online components,
So
Bethesda.
Bethesda, exactly. So they announced the first 3 Doom games, as I mentioned, were all coming to modern consoles, including the Nintendo Switch. What Bethesda didn't mention was that you first need to create a Bethesda.net account in order to play them. Because, back in the day when Doom was released, you
needed an id.net account or some shit.
You needed an internet connection, obviously, to
God.
make sure that you register your account with Bethesda. Make sure you gave them your email so they can market the crap out of, the marketing crap. As Reset Era's Nibble pointed out in their requirements in Twitter earlier this afternoon, while Doom 1 and 2 will only require you to log into a Bethesda account once to unlock the game, Doom 3 will require it every time you play in order for all features and content to become available.
That's so stupid.
It is, dude. It is so many levels of stupid that it prompted. Of course, the internet is gonna internet, and it prompted a series of hilarious posts. Yeah,
Yes, I've seen some of them. They're pretty hilarious.
I posted a few pictures on the group of all games like Super Mario. Super Mario.
Oh yeah. Like when you would link to get the sword, it said like, oh, you need a Bethesda.net account.
Yes. Dracula from Symphony of the Night saying a Bethesda.net account is required to play. Please
Oh
connect
my
to the
God.
internet to continue, and so on and so forth. It's the level. Well, there was an update. There was an update to it, and that is that Bethesda says this was updated today, actually at noon. Bethesda says the login was meant to be optional, and that it will be adjusted. Sure, Bethesda. Sure, yeah. Oops.
Sure.
It was by mistake, we just
Adjusted.
put
What
it-
does that even mean?
Adjusted. It
Well,
means
fix
that
it,
it'll
yeah.
still be there, but you can bypass it. I guess you could press. I don't know.
I'm not
B
interested.
button.
And then move on.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
You have to call the do not market list. And do
Oh,
not
dear.
call registry. Oh my god. And yeah, I was gonna throw one out. Just real quick, mention that Amazon is ending Prime Video support for the Wii U. Also, YouTube, I believe, did the same thing. So
Wait, people still use the Wii U for that?
there are a few.
I'm sure there's somebody out there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. it's
I'm
only-
sorry for them.
It's like 8 people that are gonna be in uproar about this.
Yeah. All of those 8 people, man. Just go out and protest. You got this. I believe in you.
Yes.
Good luck.
Yes.
Mr.
And-
Chaos, what do you have?
Actually, the only one I have is it's basically a story which I had mentioned to you. I actually shared it with you guys.
Ah,
It's on
yeah.
Polygon. It's called "The Bizarre True Story of Metal Gear Solid's English Translation." And this particular article is written by the man who did it.
who did
It's who did the translation for Metal Gear Solid
Okay,
from
gotcha.
Japanese to English. His name is Jeremy Blaustein. God, I'm pretty sure I slaughtered that.
Mm.
And it's actually it's a very interesting story. I mean, the man translated, or rather tried, Castlevania, which I can't wait.
Oh, Symphony of the Night?
Yes,
Is that the guy
yes,
from
yes.
Symphony of the Guy?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Is that Mr. Rolito
That-
Paulo's Secrets?
Yes, yes,
Oh my
that's
God.
the man, the one. I'm telling you, the
What
story
is the man?
Yeah. So,
Mr. Rolito
Now, mind
Paulo's
you-
Secrets.
I'm gonna tell you this from the story, but he translated the whole game by himself.
Mm.
Everything from the cutscenes to the codec calls, and because of the criticism that Symphony of the Night received because of the translation, he wanted to make this right. He wanted this to make sense, so God only knows what kinds of troubles he went through, like between listening in Japanese, and I think one of the biggest things was timing the reaction of the characters to what they were saying, because
Oh.
Japanese to English is very different.
A hindy?
Yeah, I remember that.
Otacon.
But yeah, it's a really cool. I mean, the man that he didn't get paid weekly or bi-weekly. No, they paid him when he was done. So he says at one point, they're like, it's me and my wife living like with bare scraps because I'm not getting paid, but I'm working every day in a small ass room with my kids
Damn.
outside, right outside, making all sorts of noise because he has kids, and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, like I mean, this man went through hell and back, but I mean, he did it right though, right?
Yeah.
Like one of the most memorable games in history.
Yeah. I was thinking Metal Gear is the type of game where the translation could have gone way, way, way off and bizarre because there's so many like military jargon, and I would say he did a fantastic job. Well, certainly better than little Mr. Paulo's Secrets
That his
of Symphony
previous
of the
work.
Night. Yeah. But much better than Jill Sandwich, which I know he
Oh
wasn't
my
him,
God,
but
that
has to be
that-
the worst.
Oh my God,
Resident Evil.
The dialogue on Resident Evil was rough,
Jill Sandwich.
and that's being generous.
I used to think it said gibble.
Jibble
sound.
Sandwich?
Yeah,
No.
that's how bad the audio was.
Oh.
Like if you really listen to it, it was like you were almost a gibble sandwich. I'm like, what the hell is gibble?
A gerbil sandwich.
I swear, I will never forget hearing that.
Oh my
Going,
God.
is this, I'm hearing this right? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just,
So,
I just
yeah,
wanted to throw that in there.
I'm gonna see. I'll share it in the group, and if you guys have a chance to read it, please do.
Yeah,
It's
I gotta
a
hear it.
fantastic story.
It sounds amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing it with us because I definitely want to find out because Metal Gear. I mean, that game was great. The on not only the audio aspect but the actual story.
The story, yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
again something that you can really mess up on a translation. Oh, I'm kind of impressed when you told me he's the same guy.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
I was super impressed myself.
Yeah.
There you go. It's on the group. I just shared it. Give it a
Awesome.
give it a read if you have a moment. It's really good.
All right.
All right, well,
What's the
guys,
next
that's I don't have any other pieces.
Really?
That was my main piece. Yeah, there's
Oh.
not a lot going on this week.
That was a really short switch.
I mean, I literally gave you a news about a story. It's not even news. It's literally a story.
It's just a story. It's just a story piece, guys. A story piece.
Yeah.
Well,
so-
how would you feel? How would you guys feel if I tell you that your most anticipated game this year, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order,
Most definitely.
is quote very similar to Sekiro? Confirms Respawn.
Oh,
Those and that now that's a story. I want to tell you more about it. Those Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order was well into development before the release of Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. Respawn's confirmed its oncoming game is quote very similar to From Software's title. Fallen Order lead combat designer Jason DeHarris takes comfort in that comparison. And then the quote says, "I thought it was pretty badass and a little comforting to know that you can make this type of game without a stamina bar." He said in an interview with Edge magazine, according to WCCF Tech. That's a weird website name. They let you attack, they let you roll, they let you all do all this for free, and then the AI will tell you if you're doing the correct thing. It just confirms to us that you don't have to limit everything the player does. Let them have a little more agency, and let the AI give them a slap in the wrist or a punch in the face. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the AI in Sekiro was doing a lot more than a slap in the wrist from the video.
I mean, the slap in the wrist would cut your hand off.
Yeah, yeah. It was a positive thing for us to know.
Quite literally, too.
That to know there was a game that was similar to ours, very similar. That's the quote. So I guess they're taking solace in, or I don't know if solace is the right word, but they appreciative of the comparison. Now, I don't know that what I saw on those E3 demos looked like the fighting sound.
No, it did not. Not even a little.
Like any way whatsoever, but. I'm okay,
not a single frame that reminded me of Sekiro.
This is still Respawn, and until they fail, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and see what they have to do.
I'm not gonna say anything poor about it, but I don't know if the hitbox is the same for these guys. That's all I'm saying. Oh. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Good try though.
Is all I have for news.
Awesome. All right. We'll stand by, guys. We'll be right back with our hot topic.
Topic.
And we are back, guys. And it is time for our hot topic.
Hot topic.
This week's hot topic again, guys. It is The Matrix Revisited. Mr. Humberto did bring up a perfect reason why we did this 20 years ago. 20 years ago.
Yo.
Think about that for a second.
I don't want to.
I was 11 years old, Mad Dog.
I'm
11 years old.
Not 11.
I am old.
Older than that. But to think that we've had a few re-releases of old films come back to the theater, it just feels like this was a missed opportunity for Hollywood to just say, hey, or whoever the movie company is, to just come out and say, hey, let's bring this. Warner Brothers, if I'm not mistaken. Warner Brothers, who loves to make money. Hello, you just left a bunch of money on the table. 20-year anniversary. Let's re-release this in the theater. Guarantee you, I would have saw it in the theater. You know.
Now, do we want so we will want a I don't know, like the Star Wars special edition type of
No. I mean, you can do some audio improvements, maybe some visual improvements, but don't go adding eyelids where eyelids were not there before.
Because I don't want to be seeing or buying tickets to The Matrix Reloaded Remastered.
Oh God!
Too many reads.
I don't think. No. Wait, Reloaded
Remaster.
Remaster. Oh yeah, no, that's too much. Yeah, that's too much. So let's start around the table. We'll start with Mr. David. Where were you? What was going on when you saw The Matrix?
Where were you when you saw The Matrix for the first time? All right, so this is actually.
Twister dropping hot beats.
I know. Nice.
I remember watching the Matrix. Actually, being bored out of my mind at home, and my sister tells me, let's just see what's on the theater and go watch it. And I didn't know the movies that were out there. I just saw this thing called The Matrix, and I remember seeing the trailers, and it looked kind of like actiony. So I was like, okay, sure. It was Dude, we were probably like half an hour before the movie started actually at the movie theater. So it was already late. Like I knew that I was going onto this late, but I was super bored, bro, super bored. So and I didn't make it a habit of like taking my sister out a lot or going or spending time like that going out. So we kind of we decided, yeah, okay, let's go ahead and watch it. And we got tickets, like I said, we got tickets. We were late already. We went to the movie theater. It was packed full, except for the last two seats that were on the very last row, on the very center of the movie theater. It couldn't have been more perfect. So back and in the middle. And I started watching a movie that pretty much like blew my ever-loving mind. From that moment on, I became an instant classic. One of my favorites. So yeah. And I was in Puerto Rico. I was in Puerto Rico at that time, so I saw it with the subtitles.
Nice. Mr. Gilberto, do you recall where you were or the vicinity?
My friend, March 1999. I was 11 years old. That means I was in 6th grade. I was the last graduating class of the millennium for my elementary school. And that's about as much as I remember about 1999.
That's all I remember.
There you go.
That's it.
There you go.
I did watch the movie. I don't know if it was when it released or maybe a year later. I really, really don't remember. But I do remember loving every second of it.
Yeah. But how did you go in? You were 11 years old. Your mom took you?
There are ways.
Yeah. Is it rated R?
Yeah,
it is.
The first one? Really?
Of course.
Yes. All of them are rated R.
Yes, all of them.
Why?
What do you mean, why? Have you seen the
Hello?
movie?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Listen,
I
man.
mean, it doesn't take much to be rated R.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
I compare it to other rated R's that. I compare it to R-rated movies that I've watched, whether now or before, and it doesn't even come close.
I mean, nowadays, to be fair, if that movie was released today,
It would be PG-13.
It could maybe be PG-13. It maybe it'll slide with a PG-13.
Listen, let me ask you this, dude, because I just again, we all watched it this week. Do they even say fuck once?
Nope.
No.
Not that I
No.
recall.
It's just blood. It's just the blood and the violence. That's the only.
I
That's the
see
only
that
reason
they
why
shit
it hit
a couple
it.
of times, and
yeah,
just a lot of shooting and shit.
Good shit. I remember that.
So hey, maybe I saw it at home. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
the first time I saw it, it's a little bit weird. I was high, because I was smoking weed back when I was young.
Oh,
so
already great.
yeah. So a friend of mine and I we're hanging out, whatever. And obviously, we were smoking out, and so we he has the movie on I want to say, I can't remember now if it was on disc or if it was on an actual VHS, but who knows?
Was there
point is,
DVD at
VHS.
that point?
I don't recall. I really don't recall. I just know he had the film.
Yeah.
And so basically he puts it on because we heard such good things about it. It's like, I never got around to watching it. It is what it is, right? So puts it on, whatever, and we're watching it, but we're we're in it, but not 100% in it, obviously, because we're also laughing at stupid shit because it's that's just what happens, right? We're high, right? So once the actual red pill takes place, you know what I mean, and the whole birth, I call it the birth because that's basically Neo's being born now.
Pretty much.
Once that happens, dude, not only we stop laughing for nothing at all, we were like in trance. We didn't say a word to each other for the rest of that film going forward. And we were so mind blown that we rewound it and watched it again.
Wow.
So that was my first experience. I didn't see it in the theater, unfortunately. And hence the reason I'm like, motherfuckers, put this shit in the theater so I could go watch it in the theater, please. You know what I mean? I feel like I missed out on the theater experience of the Matrix. Now, I did see 2 and 3 in the theaters, but again, the first one that should have been seen in the theater. I never did. You know what I mean? So that was unfortunately that was the weird experience that I had the first time.
That's not weird. I think that's an awesome experience, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Depends on who you ask, I guess. But yeah, so I definitely love that. I wanted to go. So I don't want to say scene by scene, but sort of big moments by big moments here. Kind of recap it a little bit, right? So the movie starts off. That's another thing which I love about films like this, when you don't get the information, right? It just throws you into the mix, and you just got to figure out. So the whole Trinity thing right at the beginning, you're like, what the hell is happening here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That beautiful, crane kick that she does right there, and then now of course the
one that was parodied for until the end of time.
Forever, yes. What is bullet time? When the bullet time is introduced, that was a great intro to a film. You know what I'm saying? It really left you with a bunch of questions. Then of course you have the now you're introduced to Neo, and Neo is I don't know how I feel about his character. Like I said, at that point, even rewatching it, I tried to rewatch it this week when I was doing it. By the way, I've seen it twice. I did the rewatch, and then I rewatched it again. So I've seen it twice.
I wanted to do that, but I ran out of time.
Yeah. But it's funny looking at it now, going, I don't know.
This is Bill from Bill and Ted.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, to be fair, Speed happened already at that point.
Oh, okay.
But still, it's just looking at him now, I'm thinking of John Wick, and I'm like, damn, this kid looks young now. It's ridiculous.
I haven't watched Avengers of Bill and Ted. The first time I saw Keanu Reeves was on Speed.
The first time I saw Keanu Reeves was... Oh, no, never mind. I was gonna say, not Point Break, is it?
Point Break? Yeah, he's in Point Break.
He's in Point Break? Okay, that was the first time then. Yep. There you go.
He's like, he is.
I didn't want to fuck it up. I didn't want to say something.
Listen,
I just laughing.
I am at least up to that point. It's not Point Blank. That's a different movie.
Point Blank? Oh, Point Blank is a different movie. Yep, you're absolutely right.
Point Blank? Okay.
So we move on from here. We're introduced to the agents. You have Agent Smith and all this, and of course they take him into the back room, into the interrogation, which, by the way, I don't know if you realize, when he's in the interrogation room and they have the camera scenes, you're looking at that from the architect's view, if you recall from part 2, but we'll move on.
Interesting.
Really? Is that what the screen has that really weird effect?
Yes. Yes, you're looking at it. It's a bunch of. It looks like you're looking at a bunch of TVs. Yeah, so that's the same room that he walks into when he's with the architect. So anyway, now we're introduced to some really interesting stuff when he says, and he gives him that line. Well, what's good as a phone call if you're unable to speak?
I love that.
Then his fucking mouth melts into his.
That's the moment where I stood still, okay, listen, what the hell is going on?
That shit creeped me out when I was a kid, all right? Yeah. And even watching it now, do you imagine that feeling? That shit's going to be horrifying.
Yeah.
I give it to Keanu. He sold that shit.
Oh, my God, yes.
He sold the terror, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Really
that
good
was
stuff.
So good.
Yeah. And of course, this guy playing Agent Smith was awesome as well. Yeah.
Unforgettable performance.
What is his name? I forgot his name.
Agent Smith. I don't know his real name. His name is
I'll find out.
He was also in Lord of the Rings. I always remember him.
Yeah. You know what's funny?
Hugo
Reeves. Yeah. But listen, before I learned his name was Agent Smith. Okay, I saw him in the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Agent Smith. He's Agent Smith. Yeah, of course. Of course. And Keanu was Mr. Anderson for the longest time for me.
Really? I knew Keanu because again
Keanu, I knew him, but the name was kind of hard for me, so I was just that's Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson. Which still, to this day, it sounds so awesome.
Which, by the way, his name is Neo.
His name is One.
The One. Yes, that's right. From there, we move on, and now we have the meeting with Morpheus, which is a great moment. And again, you're not given information, right? You are given information, but not the answer. What is the Matrix? It is all around you, right in this room right now with us sitting here like,
yeah, it's the Force.
Fill it out. Yeah.
You're telling me it's the Force, basically.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You know what I mean? When I first saw it, I was like, what are you talking about? You know, it really, I don't know if you at any point did this when you did the rewatch, but I was trying to watch this. Let me pretend I've never seen this movie before and try to look at it from that. So just go based on the information that's given to me. And you look at it, I was just like, Jesus Christ, you just don't know what the fuck you're talking about at this point. You know what I mean? And then, of course, the red pill and the blue pill, which, by the way, one of my favorite scenes is the mirror glasses, right? And you see him hand out the red and the blue pill on the glasses.
On the glasses,
so many good scenes that do that in this film, and then of course that leads to, Kansas is going bye-bye, and
yes, I like that line. I like that.
Yes, and then of course leads to the birth. Dude, I remember my mind being absolutely blown when I saw him in that pod, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? What is going on?
What type of movie am I watching?
Yes. We were in a room, and suddenly we're in this pod. I mean, I know the dude said Kansas is going bye-bye, but what the hell?
Unbelievable, dude. To date, I think it's one of the biggest twists you ever see in a film, and it's the way, especially just looking at the presentation of it beforehand. Unbelievable, dude. Fun fact number one.
All right.
All right.
Because I want to throw some of these out there. The studio, or the guys who were making the movie, color coded the movie so that, and obviously you can also see it in the movie itself, but color coded it so they can tell basically when we're filming something that's supposed to be in the Matrix and we're filming something that's supposed to be in the real world. So it was color coded to be green in the Matrix, white in the real world.
Really?
And so so they use
the crappy clothes or the really fancy clothes didn't give it away.
I was gonna say.
It was pretty obvious when it was in the real world. And
the thing about it, when they're filming, they're probably not reading the whole script. They're just looking at parts of it, and they're like, "What the hell? We were in New York, and now suddenly we're in the frigging Star Wars. Like, what the fuck is going on here?"
By the way, that is a good question. What city does this take place in?
Funny you should ask that. The unnamed city that you see in the Matrix is actually Sydney, Australia. The production shot the entire film, both interior and exteriors, in Australia.
There's a few things that give it away that it's not in America.
The Opera House?
No, I think they don't use the word elevator. They use the word lift.
Lift?
Oh, the lift. Yeah.
And I saw this in a video. I didn't really pick it up because I don't know. Apparently, the word authorized is spelled differently.
Authorized.
Interesting.
Oh,
yeah. Wow. So yeah, but I even the first time or the many times that I've seen, like, I never wondered, because I never wondered actually in what city does this take place, because honestly, it doesn't really matter to the overall story. It could be any city whatsoever, and the movie will be essentially the same.
I always thought it was a glitch in the. I always thought it was a glitch in the Matrix.
Nice.
Well played, sir. Well played. They did name the streets and stuff from locations in Chicago, so they were trying to make it look America-like, and that's of course where the Wachowskis grew up. The Wachowskis are the directors who, at the time, were both men. They are both women now.
What?
Both of them?
Both of them. Yep.
Oh wow.
Wait, what?
They are, they no longer. They used to be called the Wachowski brothers at the time. Now they are just called the Wachowskis. I think somewhere they said siblings, but I guess
siblings. Yeah.
One did and one didn't, and now they're both. So.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
Another interesting fact.
Yeah.
Definitely a fun fact.
Surprise! There's a twist.
A lot of twist.
The character of Switch, right, was actually meant to be of male and female. Essentially, that in the real world it would have been a male, but whenever he plugged himself into the Matrix, you would have a female on the other end.
That would have been cool.
That would have been great, but of
That
course, was completely shot down by the
That
by
would
the
be
movie
confusing.
studio.
I mean, that would have been relatable to so many gamers
Well, yeah.
who just pick a female avatar.
As I do most of the time.
Really?
Well, that would have been an unnecessary level of confusion. That why would you not want to have Keanu Reeves?
No. Switch.
Switch.
would
Only
have been the character.
Switch.
Oh, Switch.
Yeah, Switch.
The blonde woman.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the blonde hair
Okay,
with
gotcha.
short hair.
Still,
She was.
It would.
supposed to
I
be-
think it would have been cool. I think it would have been really cool to end that.
Yeah.
I think it would have introduced again an unnecessary layer of confusion in the sense of, well, does that mean that the images of the human in the Matrix could be anything? They're not related to the images of what the actual person could have looked like had the person had a normal life,
Well, I think
And
the way
another
that the
film?
way it's explained, when Neo and Morpheus are like in the middle of training, he says that the way that he looks, his hair, his clothes, it's his mental image of it. So
Yeah.
what if in your mental image you're a woman? What if you really just want to be a woman or whatever? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that
I
could have been that could have been part of it, yeah. But I don't think it needed to be, brought into the movie.
Well,
'Cause-
it would have been a
I
big
mean, it would have
thing.
most likely, because the
it-
character wasn't like a major character.
Oh,
Right.
true.
So it
It
would
would
have
have
been
just
like
a
something in
side
the background.
thing. People are not really like gonna be focused on the character. As long as
Yeah.
they know that information, they're not gonna care about anything else. Even now, like,
Listen,
don't
Switch
even-
not a hero, all right?
Listen, let me put it like this.
Yeah, she did.
You don't remember who Switch is.
What are you talking about? The little
Yeah, I
kid?
remember.
What?
Oh,
Wait, I
God.
don't understand.
Exactly. You
Switch
don't know
is-
who Switch is. That's how
Switch
important
is-
the character is.
I remember who Switch is.
You just said it was the
she's
kid.
one,
He's the
she's the one who goes not like this, not like this. And
Oh,
then she
the
gets-
big-
yeah, that's,
There's
Oh,
the,
yeah,
one,
that's
the
the
only
kid.
one that's dressed in white.
right.
She's also, by the way, because they were not allowed to do, they weren't given the permission to do that particular thing. They went with her, and of course, they gave her a specific look to kind of,
Yeah.
fit a little bit. 'Cause that's why she always dressed in suits. She also, that's not always dressed up, but she always had a little bit of a male-ish appearance, even though she was a female actress.
Like a tomboyish, let's just say.
Sure. I'm not sure if I'd call it that, but sure, we can go with that.
I don't know what other word to use.
But yeah, that would have. So yeah, that's another fun fact. With
Fun fact.
fun fact.
By the way,
with
Mad Dog.
Matrix.
By the way, Dream, the kid, the youngest one, is called Mouse.
Mouse. Yeah, that's what I was
Mouse,
thinking.
yeah, Mouse, yeah.
Yeah, because and he died heroically.
He did. Well, they all did. Even I think Switch did, sort of. Maybe.
No,
No, not like that.
no, they did.
Not like
this.
that.
We'll get to
Not
that.
like that.
We'll get to that later. We'll get to that
Well
later.
done. Well done. All right. So now we get after the birth. We have the amazing moment when you hear they're rebuilding the muscles of Neo, and he's like, "Why do my eyes hurt?" And he's like, "It's because you never used them before." And it's like, whoa, it's insane. Then we get to what has to be the only time or the only way to do an info dump, an exposition dump.
Yeah.
Right? Because this type of movie, at some point, is going to require explanation.
Yeah,
Particularly
and a
particularly
lot of
after
it.
everything you just saw, right?
And they took it too hard with the second and third movies. Because it was
Yeah.
nothing but that.
Oh my God.
Fair enough. We're not gonna go there just
We're
yet.
not gonna go there.
But yes,
It wouldn't be a discussion about the Matrix without going into that.
Oh God.
At some
Okay,
point.
later on though. Later on.
true, very true. So this is like the best way, and it's some of the scenes that I can rewatch in the film a million times. It's just the explanation of what the world is now. The whole, I've the fields, endless fields where we're no longer born, we're grown. You know what I mean? And they liquefy the dead to intravenously feed them to the living. It's like,
know, that's
dude,
so
it's just
dark,
like, what
dude.
the hell? Yes. And then you see this baby literally prodded. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, I mean, let me tell you, dude, jaw on the floor is what it was at that time. You know what I mean? And then, of course, we move into what I've just recently posted on the on the group, which I've actually labeled here in my notes as "I know Kung Fu."
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that is such an amazing fight scene.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I was telling Mama Reaper about that scene because they do move faster than normal humans. They attack harder, they jump higher, and all this this extraordinary things because they're in the Matrix, right? And I was telling her there's a part where Neo's on the ground and Morpheus jumps into the air and he falls with his knee and he to the point that he breaks the floor. Of course, Neo rolls over, but he jumps super high, like unhumanly high, and it doesn't look silly.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's done well.
Yes, and to me that was very important. It because a lot of movies try to do it and they use different tactics, and even in this movie they use those same techniques like the shadow of an arm moving or whatever. You know, they throw a punch and there's like 3 arms moving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Credit to Yuen Woo Ping, which is the martial arts choreographer. He has done plenty of martial arts films. So credit to them. One, going to
amazing.
him. Also credit to the actors. The lead actors had to train every day for 4 months in order to pull off these fights.
That's something else that I pointed out to Mal. It's like, look, you can look there's no doubles here. Like you see Keanu's face at all times. It's not darkened. It's not CGI. Nothing. This is Keanu and Lawrence Fishburne, you know, going at it. This is This is what I want in a movie.
Yeah,
absolutely. The fact that they didn't. I mean, think about it for a second. You know, had they not gone that route, this would have looked horrible. This would have just, you know, it would literally be a joke. It's just crazy. It's crazy. And they learned everything. What, kung fu, the jujitsu,
he learned how to
Hapkido, and I don't know what the hell else I saw there.
Yeah, good stuff.
The helicopter. Oh no, that was.
Has the V212.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No. So, are you breaking it down further or?
Yeah, I think Mad Dog is recapping the whole movie, right?
Yeah. I think at this point, like we don't need the play-by-play on it, but it is because we have seen it. I'm sure that our audience has seen it as well.
Yeah.
I tell you what I really
did we miss the spoiler alert?
Yeah, for a 20-year-old movie.
Yeah.
What I really like about this movie is that it knew how to get. It got crazy out there, but it always felt grounded in something, grounded in a pseudo reality. Because not, let's call it, because it's not, we know it's not reality because it's the Matrix. But even at the point where you mentioned this is the part where they start doing the exposition. It did not feel like it was too long. It felt like it was definitely needed because, like, okay, what the hell does it mean that I'm, that Neo is born out of this thing, or why even his name and all that kind of stuff, and why are human batteries and all that crap? That needed to be explained. You mentioned at the beginning also something that I agree 100% with this movie, and that is that it starts without giving you a lot of barely any info. It just starts. It's action from the get-go. What's happening around is interesting. When he wakes up and who was in his computer that said knock knock Neo, and suddenly like all those things are like, it makes you wonder, like, okay, what's going on here? What's going on? Even when you get the payout of what is actually going on, it still keeps its pace. It's still interesting. You know, it still keeps it going. You know that when he finally becomes to his potential. Maybe not his full potential, because I guess that will not be achieved until the other two movies. But over here, when they have that scene at the lobby, that famous lobby scene,
lobby scene
that's what you get the R on this movie, the R rating on this movie.
I can see that.
You know, and you see him like flying, dodging, bullet dodge, all these things. Fantastically performed. Like I don't understand how this was not. Was this ever considered Oscar or anything like that? No,
not even close. Nope.
That's a shame.
Maybe for visual effects, but
they should have. For visual effects, they should have. I mean, what else came out around that time?
Fun fact would have actually that lobby shootout. It's only 3 minutes long. If you were actually to sit and watch it and time it, it took 10 days to shoot.
It took 10 days to shoot. Yeah,
and they used 0 CGI. All the explosions, the gunfire, and everything were practical effects.
That was happening. Yeah, that's amazing. That is amazing. That's amazing. Okay, at what point are we going to start comparing and contrasting with the other two? Because I have some things to say.
I wanted to bring that up though.
So
all right. Well, that's what I wanted to bring up. That's what I wanted to clarify though. Let's keep this only on the first one.
All right. We can touch on the 2 and 3, but I do want to go through some of the things that are interesting. Specifically, would you have ever pictured a Matrix film where Neo was played by Kevin Costner?
No.
By Kevin Costner.
Well,
by Kevin
believe
Costner.
it or not.
That could have happened. Yeah, I can see it.
He was actually offered the part. Who else was offered the part? Obviously, there's a bunch of names: Johnny Depp, Tom Cruise, Leonardo DiCaprio, who apparently turned it down because there were so much special effects.
John Leguizamo.
Oh my God!
Sorry.
Leave the poor man alone.
Sorry.
One of the big ones, though, was Will Smith.
Really?
Wow.
Yes, he was actually offered that, and he turned it down because he read the script and didn't understand it. And he's actually gone on record since as saying that was one of his biggest regrets of not accepting that role.
He could have been the one. Literally.
He could.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, but would it have been the same though? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, why not?
See,
why not? I don't think, because I tell you what. Yes, it would have been the same. And we would have been wondering here, like laughing, like, lol, Keanu Reeves, what the fuck? You're gonna have Bill and Ted there, you know? It would have sounded ridiculous.
Then I would have looked at it, so like, listen, I only saw him in Speed at that point. So
yeah, I was gonna say,
this
is a few years removed from Speed.
I know.
Yeah.
But still,
Ted was a while before that.
Still, I would have. I totally. I mean, was Bad Boys out by then? Did Bad Boy ever came out after or before? Or was Will Smith
around that time
still the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
I'll tell you what he did instead of The Matrix. He did Wild Wild West.
Oh,
God.
fuck! He fucked up. Oh, wow!
Wow!
Wow! And he's still leaving.
Listen. The best part of
God.
Wild Wild West is that Salma Hayek is in it.
Oh, I don't know if it's you know what? That movie was. Hey, I'll tell you
Listen.
I appreciate that movie only because it was just one gigantic makeout session for me and the girl that I was seeing around that time. Because that's all we did around the entirety of that movie. You know, I remember seeing it later on and being like, nope. I'm so glad that I knew how to appreciate my time and not waste it like that.
Wow.
I seized the moment.
Salma Hayek is in that movie. That movie.
That movie.
So, a couple of names that could have been Morpheus. An interesting one, which makes me laugh when I read it. Samuel L. Jackson would have been. Sammy J.
Yeah, I can totally see it. I mean, didn't we see that just Marvel? I mean,
I was gonna say he could have done it.
He could have totally done it.
I honestly, I saw it. I was like, damn, I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
Another interesting one, that a particular actor that we just brought up today, Gary Oldman was approached to play Morpheus.
Holy shit, for real? That would have been
yes.
interesting. Actually, no, probably not, because wasn't Gary Oldman kind of young still?
Gary Oldman was still.
I mean, he was fifth
Fifth
Element. Well,
yeah, which is, I guess, around the same time. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, no, nothing. No, gracias.
To play the role of Agent Smith, actor Sean Reno. You guys probably know him from the movie The Professional. No, none of the way knows who the hell that.
The what?
The Professional.
Oh, hell yeah!
Oh, yeah. I know
Yeah,
which one
yeah.
you're talking about. Yeah.
I thought you said The Profession.
No, The Professional. He was approached to play.
I need a moment, guys. I need to go to the bathroom.
Okay. Fair
in the
enough.
middle, we're in the middle recording here, and he has to go to the bathroom. Okay, that's what happens when you have so many beers. Anyway, so
hold on. I can
we're gonna
edit this out.
We're gonna time. No. We'll just keep rolling.
We'll keep rolling. Jet Li was.
Rolling. Ooh, wait a minute. Jet Li was in it.
No, he was not in it. But he was approached to play Seraph, which is the Asian actor who played in the part 2 and 3.
Who played Seraph then?
Not Jet Li.
I know.
Another Asian actor.
Okay, yeah. I feel horrible for that, by the way. I
That's all
apologize.
you, brother. That's all you.
Oh, thanks. Throw me under the bus.
Val Kilmer also turned down the role for Neo, believe it or not.
Oh, wow. I don't know about that.
Thank God is all I can say.
We didn't get rubber nipples.
Yes. No rubber nipples. Jesus
No
Christ.
I'm back.
Did you
No
watch?
problem.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you're allowed to touch the mic. Okay.
And the last one I have is, believe it or not, Nicolas Cage was also asked.
Oh,
to,
God. To be who?
Neo. No, Neo.
To be Neo? No.
Morpheus. We also had Russell Crowe and Sean Connery to play Morpheus.
Oh, Sean Connery would have been awesome.
Sean Connery went on record as saying, "I don't understand the script."
Man, these actors are not so smart, aren't they?
I'm telling you.
How hard could it be?
I
It was
know. There's actually
you know what?
a book, the record, that's called The Matrix Philosophy. It's a fascinating book. You guys may want to look into it, but it's pretty good.
There was dude. I read a book that was pretty much comparing the Matrix with like the Bible and all the Christian imagery that we're using. I mean, you see it in the movies.
There's a lot of it.
It's so obvious, you know.
It's literally voiced by the guy who comes to his door. You're my own personal Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to bring that scene up because, seriously, guys, seriously.
Right on the nose. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right
it was. And yeah, when I think it's on Matrix.
You want to nail
the
it
third
to a
one.
cross while you're at it?
Well, on the third one, when I think.
Oh, basically, that's true. He does the pose and shit.
It does show the cross when he's exploding or whatever it is that happened to Neo. So yeah, and it was not a great read, but it was interesting. It was interesting, the comparison. And back then, I was eating up anything that had to do with the Matrix, including the Animatrix, which, in retrospect, now
my God.
I think some of them might have been
The best ones are the
the
But
Flight of Osiris is the
the best one. The Flight of Osiris is nice because it is digital. What is it? CG.
True. Yeah.
But the best ones is the two-parter. The Second Renaissance. when it basically shows the history, how the world came from what it was to get to the point where we're in the Matrix.
And
Absolutely amazing.
and that's the part where that I feel like none of that it was necessary. I'm sorry. I apologize. I like the idea of Matrix being its own single thing. No need to give me a lore, a lore dump. No matter how cool you make it, because the Animatrix was cool, But the whole idea with this property was to make it into like, not just animations and comics and also video games and also the MMO, which continued.
There's an MMO.
There was
There
an
was,
MMO.
yeah,
It's already
there was.
gone. It's already gone and done. On that MMO, they killed Morpheus.
What the fuck?
Morpheus dies on that MMO on a I think it was a few expansions later. But yeah, and that's all considered canon, And but that's what I'm saying.
The Wachowskis were directly involved with all of it.
Yeah.
The Animatrix, yeah.
Including the Animatrix. So I didn't need to know the history of this is how the robot, and there were some friendly robots, and then they went and they did their own country, but we didn't like it, and this, so we humans came up with this fantastic idea of blocking the sun.
Of scorching the sky.
Let's
Yeah,
block the sun,
is
and that will stop the robots.
But that's in the movie though. You can't
Yeah.
blame the Animatrix for that because he mentions that in the film.
True, which is stupid.
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
What is that?
it
Is
is a
stupid.
dumb
what does
idea.
that
Yeah.
even mean?
Like,
Which scorched the sky.
we scorch the sky. We're gonna cover the sun. We're literally gonna cover the sun. Hello, a third grader knows that if you do that, all life on Earth will disappear. Will cease to exist.
Dead.
Plants will die, and there goes oxygen with the plants. Everything will cease to exist. But that was their idea. That was the part where, man, for all the crazy lore and like try to tie things up the way you did with
They really
the
could find
engineer.
a better explanation.
You really fucked up on that explanation. Like, really?
Scorch
Like-
the sky. Okay.
Yeah.
Scorch the sky.
Scorch the sky, yeah. In the Animatrix, I actually watched this is one of the few things I've ever done this. I actually watched the Animatrix, those particular two, with the commentary, the director commentary over it. And so he kind of gives you the gist of what's going on. Apparently, it was nanomachines that were being released into the sky to basically create whatever it is to block out the sun.
The
How
Kojima
does-
explanation.
Okay.
The
Okay.
Kojima explanation.
Always.
Let me ask you this. How
Nanomachine.
does releasing nanomachines to the skies equals to scorching, quote unquote,
I think
the
you're
sky?
taking
I
it
think
too
he's just
literally.
yeah, because remember he doesn't. You also have to look at it from Morpheus's point, where he wasn't there for the history. It's just history has been passed down to him. I actually have the animation. I have the Matrix comic book, which has one of my favorite stories in it, and it's a young Morpheus, and he's doing a celebration. There's like this big celebration that they do in Zion.
So it's an
Where-
orgy?
No, not like that. Not that's
A crazy orgy rave.
This is before all that.
I mean, they know how to party. Let me tell you that right now.
shit.
That they do. Let me tell you that they do. No,
I was waiting for someone to mention that.
I'm sure you guys are dying to bring up 2 and 3.
No, not really, but I mean, it is unavoidable. I don't want to focus on them though.
Yeah, I got you. The celebration was basically a celebration on how to make bread, and then everybody got to sit. But there was this weird thing of the way the story folds out is how they're able to do that living underground essentially. And then at the very last frame of the comic thing, he basically breaks bread and eats from it. And so it's a weird thing, but all this information is obviously just getting passed down to all these people. You know what I mean? So it's like the telephone game, right? At some point when you get to the far end, all the information is not the way it was. So
Right.
heard "scorch the sky" and
Yeah.
that's what we did. Yeah, you know what I mean. Whatever.
Yeah,
that,
it's like-
whatever that means. Yeah.
You never take it. You never take it literally. I don't think they set the sky on fire, but
Hey,
it probably
you don't
looks
know.
smoky. And
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
if somebody told you, "Oh man, they fucked up the sky," would you imagine someone fucking the sky, like literally?
Wow.
Wow.
Well, I mean,
That's quite a difference between scorching and fucking, but sure.
All right.
and never mix
Let's
them
do
together.
it. I'm going to
No.
give you guys a few minutes to tell me what you think about 2 and 3, and go.
You want to start?
Okay, I'll start.
Uh.
They're garbage.
No.
All
I
right,
tell you
all
what it is. They are.
right,
They are
and
good
David,
movies.
Listen. Oh,
There are
okay.
good movies that were completely unnecessary, and they kind of and it kills it and I believe it like this, it's not exaggeration when I say it. It kills the substance,
It
the
doesn't
way the
match the
first
first
one-
one. It doesn't
first-
match the first one.
well, hold on. The first one had an enigma play to it, playing through a mystery through the whole thing. I feel like the second and third one just completely do away and do the complete opposite of the first movie, which starts in that mystery and it takes you through the whole thing all to the end. Even when he goes flying and you don't know where that's continuing, that it's still like it's still good. That they do away on the second and third movies because they lay it all on you now they're talking about the world of science and you're not, it's no longer am I in the Matrix, it's more like, oh, this is just like like any other fantastical, like a Lord of the Rings or whatever, or like a Star Wars or something crazy like that. It is cool. It has some great effects and fight scenes and all that. But, dude, you mega convoluted the story to the point where you just made it like too abstract. Like here's the comparison I was giving, and I want to finish on this. The Matrix, the Matrix was like this perfectly portioned size meal that you created, Mad Dog, and it was delicious. All right, this was amazing. And then the other two was like, well, I saw you do that, and now I just want to make it bigger. And I want to make it better than yours, so I'm just gonna start throwing like double the ingredients of whatever was needed, and it came to be a convoluted, overseas mess that doesn't stay the same,
Okay.
So,
Other than me saying that it's garbage, honestly, my thoughts on both the movies is they ran into the Superman problem. They created a character that by the end of the first movie, he can do whatever he wants, or at least that's what we're supposed to believe, right? And then we get to the second movie, and now you have to introduce something that matches him. Of course, this comes in the form of Agent Smith.
Yeah.
And even then, the other
Negative.
enemies who are not supposed to be on par anywhere near Neo, for whatever reason, they're still matching up to him. Even if you add the Ghost Brothers and whatever, which whatever.
The
Ghost Twins or whatever the hell.
The Ghosts, yeah. That's exactly what they are.
the
Ghosts,
Merovingians, the
yeah.
midichlorians,
Merovingian
The Merovingian was the Italian guy.
was the main guy.
Yeah,
French. Go ahead.
yeah.
Yeah.
This was the Phantom Menace of the Matrix
Pretty
with
much.
the midichlorians. Yeah.
Well, it didn't feel like Neo was taking center stage, other than when he does that noodle fight against the C.O. Smith in the basketball court.
And yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't rewatched it, but I can tell you right now, that scene does not hold. It was bad when it released. It's even worse now.
No, I kind of liked it.
No,
actually.
not the movie. Not the movie.
No.
that
I'm
scene.
talking the scene. I'm talking about the scene when he's fighting the 10,000 Agent Smiths
On the basketball court?
on the basketball court. Yeah.
Dude, that scene is so bad.
No, it's so bad that it's great. That's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, that's
Okay.
so bad.
All right.
Like the Power Glove.
Compare that to the scene where he fights Smith the first time in the first movie, which is it's in the subway.
Yeah, the
Right?
subway.
They
Yeah,
pull out their guns, they run against each other, they jump off whatever pillar, and then the slow motion bullet time happens. This does not look like CGI.
All right.
Okay? They look.
You want a bad scene? I'll give you a bad scene. The one where he's Goku. That's a.
You're
That's
talking
a
about the third one, and that's absolutely completely horrible. I think the Wachowski's brother like binge watched Dragon Ball, and they said, "I want that in my movie."
So I love it. I absolutely love it. But
I don't
first
think
off,
they're
I do-
garbage.
the-
For the record, I don't think they're garbage.
No, I got you. So to kind of jump off of that, there is absolute truth that the Wachowskis are huge anime fans, and in the end, it's like, yes, they were trying to make sort of a live action anime.
Yeah.
That said, part 2, Reloaded. First off, I would admit the Matrix first one is the best one, and I don't think anyone.
I would
can
drop
argue
kick you if
that
you say
point. You know
otherwise.
what I'm saying? So easily the best one. The reason for that was there was always danger, right? That danger unfortunately got lifted with Reloaded. However, I am Dreamy. You know that this is how I am when it comes to films. I like films that will challenge what I think it should be, and I will let it challenge it, and I'll look, and in the end, I'm going to look at it. Well, let's see if this kind of works out. So, the best part of 2 was the realization that, yeah, you're the one because we made you the one. We know you're the one. This is not news. You're not special. We had to, the architects saying, yes, I made you this way. You know what I'm saying? That's the moment. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh shit. And then the realization that, yes, there were plenty of Matrix before this.
Can I stop you real quick?
Sure.
Because I don't think that he made him that way. Because I think the one is just a recollection of something, and they know he exists, but he's not made on purpose. He's just
he is
an anomaly.
He is. He actually mentions that he's an anomaly program that he's made. It's done on purpose.
Oh really?
It's absolutely it's completely.
I gotta
done.
rewatch those goddamn movies.
Well, don't, because they're garbage.
They are, but I'm still gonna rewatch them because at some point I would like to have a hot topic that covers the other two.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that those are the little things that I loved about it. Yes, the ghost seems silly, but when you realize that there were many Matrix versions before that, and they were using whatever they can to fill in the Matrix. Hey, let's just put in ghosts. Let's put in vampires, and then realize, no, this doesn't work. We're losing a bunch of crops because this is dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? But it also introduced the fact that there are other than the humans, there are other sentient beings within the Matrix that also just want to survive. You know what I mean? And so I was like, that's pretty interesting in itself as well. And don't even get me started on the awesome freaking highway chase sequence, which was done, almost 100% CG, without CG, excuse me. Which I love shit like that, dude. Practical effects rule all the time. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I do agree that there are moments within the sequence in the basketball court. You can tell when it switches to live action, and it's jarring. It's definitely jarring. However,
thank you for adding that word, because it really is.
It is jarring because there are moments that he is fighting. That is Keanu out there doing a bunch of martial arts. Excuse me, but when it switches over to the version that's obviously not him, it's like, ooh, you can see that. Yeah. Said, I still enjoyed it because in my head, I was sold. Yes, you're doing an anime. I got you. I'm with you. Keep going. Unfortunately, it fell apart in 3 for the most part. There are some good moments in 3 as well. Because again, I agree with Davis that none of them I think are bad. 3 is just. There's a different ending there that would have worked better. You know what I'm saying? But part two, I think, is actually way better than a lot of people remember it to be. And me personally, to me, it expanded this world so much, which I get, Dreamy, when you say, "Hey, this little bit was more than enough," and I agree. But the expansion of it was, to me, done very well because they did take into consideration a lot of little aspects of it, like the fact that he's constantly trying to go back to the Oracle and she's never there. Why? Because now he's gonna know she's a fucking program. She's a machine. You know what I mean? So it's those little things, and but yes, making him powerful kind of took away stakes from the fighting.
Yeah,
right?
it lowers
Because,
the
yeah,
danger.
exactly, it lowered the danger, but then you realize then it gets turned on its head when you realize this is all repeating itself. You know, so this has been done before. You're not the one. You know what I mean?
But let me ask you: don't you think that all of that could have been shown or explained a lot better than the convolution that we got? Because for the longest time, I did not understand a lot of aspects, or I had to make logic jumps, like, oh, Neo, the reason why he is able to use his powers in the real world rather than the Matrix is because he somehow has a Wi-Fi connection to the Matrix now, and this was back when
part
Wi-Fi
three,
was not a
yes.
thing. Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
actually, no, yeah,
Stuff
that was
like-
actually technically the end of part two, and the part
Right.
two and into part three. Yeah.
So stuff like that. Stuff like that comes out as a very entertaining, but ultimately convoluted way of telling you the message of, well, turns out you're not really, a special. There have been others. This is the sixth version of the Matrix. This has happened before, and it'll happen
Well,
again.
This is very simple. This is very simple because every time the architect is in any scene, it's just an exposition dump, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's take the very first movie and its exposition dump scene, which is with Morpheus and Neo, and compare it to the architect scene and tell
Never.
me which one is better.
Never.
I mean,
you will not be able to
The
because
architect goes off and just the way that he talks.
dude, the architect is giving me a course like a college course.
Dude,
There's
to the
two
point that
differences.
if you don't have a dictionary next to you, you're not gonna understand half the shit that dude says.
Yeah.
It's well, I didn't. Okay, well, I didn't have that issue, but I know what you mean when you say the difference between the two. And the main difference is
Listen, I was like 13 or 14. Okay, I didn't know half of the words this dude is
it's all
saying.
good. It's all good. But the biggest difference there is show don't tell. That's in
Right.
essence that's the thing. Show don't tell. And a lot of movies and a lot of shows even get caught up in this where it's like, I get it, you need to explain something, but you should show it versus telling it. Because showing is more engaging than watching somebody sit there and just talk.
Yeah.
Now, it also works watching somebody sit there and talk can work, like for instance,
Yes.
the meeting with the first meeting with Morpheus and Neo.
Mm.
They're just in a room talking. However,
But
that
he's
was
also
engaging.
showing you.
The first meeting when
I
they're
know.
in just the
Oh.
room. There's nothing shown.
Oh, okay,
The only
okay.
thing
I
he shows
guess
them is
I-
two
I-
pills. Yeah.
Well, I mean, but he doesn't. Wait, is that where? No, that's later on, right? Where he goes into it, shows him the real world and shit.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. The other one that is just.
But
talking,
even then,
feels
in
like
that
work.
scene, you still get something. He gives him the red pill. He goes, touches the mirror, and all of this shit happens. And you get something out of it.
Okay.
You
Okay. So
understand
I'm gonna give you another one that does work. I like the first meeting between Neo and the Oracle,
Oh,
and it's
girl?
just two people in the room. I like it. That was a great engaging moment. It was completely not
Yeah.
what I was expecting. You know what
You
I'm
want to
saying?
know?
So
You want to
it
know what's
can
very
work.
important about that scene? She didn't use words that were like, really fucking long and that I have to get a dictionary to understand. She was very, down
She
to
was
earth, very
homey,
plainly
yeah.
spoken. It was very well understood what she said. She just looked at him like, what do you think? You don't think you're the one? Then you're not the one. There you go. On you go. Have a cookie. You'll feel better at the end.
She was grandma, basically. She was grandma.
Exactly.
I got you. The main issue with that architect one is that one, obviously the way he's delivering the message, and two, they're just telling, not showing.
Yeah. And it
Oh.
honestly went on for too goddamn long.
And it was long. As was Trinity's death scene for the record.
Oh,
That was like
shit.
the longest 5 minutes I've ever had in my life. It's like, Jesus Christ. I think people were laughing in the theater
Yeah.
at some point. It's like, this is going on too long. So
Yeah.
yes, I get it. We'll leave part 2 and 3 there for now, and then just close off on part 1. And
Yeah.
just to say, this was a great revisit, and I hope we can all three do this again with another film sometime.
Hell yeah.
I'm thinking Top Gun, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
Perhaps. You know.
Listen, I'm down for it. I haven't seen it in
Okay.
forever. I can scarcely remember what the movie's about.
That's true. Me too.
All right.
No
We
worries.
don't have to do it next week, but I just want to throw it out there because I do like this kind of topic, especially visiting something from the past, something not recent.
Yeah.
And by recent, I mean like in the last 10 years. That's still kind of recent. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
any final thoughts on The Matrix, guys?
Well, no, it's that movie was one of the first that I recall being a movie about a great reveal, about a crazy ass reveal, that I recall impacting me. Yes, obviously we've had that for ages, and Luke, I'm your father, whatever, or no, I'm your father was the actual line. Sorry, but I feel like with this one, it kind of opened my appetite for this kind of movies where it plays with your expectations of what it's going to be, and probably the reason why I was disappointed, even though I enjoyed the other two, I was disappointed with them because by then there was nothing else. There's not going to be any surprises, even the whole thing with that. Oh, you're not special. You're not the one. This is the sixth, version of the Matrix. All those explanations were like, it was content, but not substance. And the first one is the reason why I still to this day I'll be very happy with just that contained story by on its own.
I agree. I'm gonna give my thoughts. I'm gonna try to keep them focused only on the first one, 'cause the second and third, even though I do want to rewatch them with an open mind, because it's been forever since I saw them, and I was very disappointed in them. I do want to rewatch them, but okay, that doesn't matter. I really did. I love the very first movie, even though it has a few things here and there. There's maybe even a plot hole here and there. I can forgive all of that because the characters, the interactions, the objectives, the action, the drama that's here and there. It's all connected. It's all well connected.
Yeah.
It all. I to use the words that you guys used when you were describing, what is it, Winter Soldier and Batman: The Dark Knight. There's no, to me, in this first movie, there is no wasted scene. Every scene has meaning that carries on to the story of the whole movie.
Yep.
From the very beginning, we're introduced to the agents in Trinity, to when Neo's trying to escape from that room, to when he gets caught, to everything. Everything has to do, and that, to me, is what made that movie so enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
So
agree.
yeah,
Definitely agree. All right,
those
guys.
are my thoughts on the Matrix.
Thank you so much.
Also, there's
All
there's a Rob Zombie song in that movie.
Yes, there is.
Also, yes, that's right. Really good soundtrack actually in the movie overall.
Yeah.
I like the soundtrack of the second one actually.
It also created an amazing generation of goth people.
This
'Cause
is
let me
true.
tell you, as a kid, I wanted to dress like that when I was older.
Oh yeah,
I
the
wanted
style was
I wanted
fantastic.
to pull
Yeah.
Hell
that
yeah.
off for Halloween at one point too.
Yeah.
But I never did.
Sort of kind of like how I dress every day, anyways.
Yeah, true. Well, you are the Reaper.
You are the Reaper.
Yeah.
Sir.
Well, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. That brings us to the end of an awesome episode 170 of GG's and Awful Podcast.
Real.
This is Mad Dog signing off for this week. Also, please, as I always mention, go to goodgame.tech, join the conversation there, and of course, like, subscribe, and share the podcast. Mr. Chaos Reaper.
Yes, sir. This was a great episode, even though I only had one news, I guess, which was even news. It was just a story, but it's a great story nonetheless. Love this hot topic. I love rewatching the movie. I'm telling you, like, watching it now, with the experience and the knowledge that I have of because I've watched plenty of movies at this point, and I'm nitpicky as fuck.
Mhm.
It's still an amazing movie. Love rewatching it again. Love sharing my thoughts with you guys and seeing your points of view on it. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week.
And stay tuned for next week, where our hot topic of the week, we're gonna be talking about Constantine.
Excuse me.
Constantine.
Constantine. Yeah.
All right,
Actually, I don't know if we bold to announce it here, the hot topic, because we kind of like went over it during the day today about ranking the best superhero movie.
yes, the best superhero. Yeah, we can put that in there.
All right.
Add it to the docket.
That's gonna be interesting.
It will.
There's a lot of superhero movies. Although, of course, not all of them rank up that high, but
Actually, most of them are pretty low.
yes.
So we're not gonna
All
be
right,
talking
guys.
about Bram Stoker Dracula.
But hey,
okay?
please,
No,
guys,
no
please,
Dracula.
please post in the comments what you think is the best superhero movie.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Please.
absolutely. So we can make fun of your decisions.
Yes, sir.
All right, wrap it up. Now.
All right,
Yes,
we're wrapping
yes.
it up, guys. We'll see you next week.
GG!